Okay, we are live. This is the Imperial CMYE-IRK Republic for the country of United States small s. Quote, the oldest independent, autonomous, and autochthon kingdom on Earth. Begin all acts, breathing, and thinking by saying Kalum/all, by way of the infinity flame of the dwellers enthroned in the flower of fire. By way of a universal traveler, dweller-emperor, Samhu, a mini-ray, quote, Adelo Yi, end quote, Zen Uru, smiley face. The pledge of the Imperial royal flags for the Imperial CMYE-IRK Republic for the country of United States small s. As I stand beneath our sacred Imperial and Imperial royal flags, I vow loyalty and obedience as I watch them fly. To the imperial laws of our imperial constitution that governs our imperial royal empire. To this cause I hold my head up high. With honor I pledge to protect and defend all within the imperial royal kingdom, both family and friend, to ensure that all have their equal rights. To this cause I will lay down my very life as I stand beneath our sacred imperial royal and national flag. I vow loyalty, sincerity, and integrity with zeal. As I will, so mote it be. Chant the enchantment, and it is done. Chant the enchantment, and it is done. Chant the enchantment, and it is done. Ashe, so be it. So it is. It definitely shall be. Quote, Zen Uru and power we shall have. End quote. Thank you. Eesh. Smiley face. Know thyself. Smiley face. And welcome to the Imperial I Am Hope Tip University Pink/Cayenne Full Moon IIEHU broadcast happening right now at 1700, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 23rd April 2024. Welcome all. The incarnation of Samhu on Ta dash Mother Earth as his dash Imperial dash Majesty H.E.M. full colon decrees and grants limited delegated authority to all nominationals, non-executive directors, NEDs, and non-directors, NDs, who are skilled and qualified to operate the sovereign state jurisdiction. The purpose is to implement and advance the modalities of commerce and cultural variegations for the properly formed and operational republic state, pursuant to the Imperial CMYE-IRK Republic for the country of United States small s. Today, we showcase nominational culture via the Namashi Compass Workshop and celebrate the Pink/Cayenne full moon. Sit back and absorb and enjoy the ride. Eesh. The Pink/Cayenne Full Moon 2024. This is the first year for the Imperial CMYE-IRK Republic for the country of United States Namashi Compass. Many people call a calendar. So behold the celestial spectacle of Scorpio full moon, where the cosmos choreographed a dance of death and rebirth. Just as the majestic phoenix rises from its own ashes, this lunar event invites us to embrace transformation with open arms. Scorpio, known as the harbinger of change, guides us through the tumultuous yet awe-inspiring journey of shedding old skins to reveal our true selves. While the process may be daunting and rife with challenges, the promise of renewal awaits at the end of the tunnel. Enter the mystic realm of the Buddha moon, where legends intertwine with enlightenment. In the Himalayas, the birth, enlightenment, and departure of Buddha are celebrated. under this very lunar glow. As the veil between dimensions thins, our own path to enlightenment is illuminated, beckoning us to expand our consciousness. So why not seize the cosmic opportunity to honor your own journey of birth, enlightenment, and metamorphosis? Embrace each phase as a cherished chapter in the book of your life and rejoice in the person you've become. Meanwhile, on the earthly stage, the pink moon graces the sky, named after the delicate moss Phallix or moss pink adorning the landscape. As nature paints the world with hues of pink, the full moon shines in harmony with the blossoming spring season in the northern hemisphere. Set your gaze up on the night sky today at 1949, which is also 7:49, and that's p.m. Eastern Standard Time, like in a couple hours, as the pink moon takes center stage in the United States of America, major dash a mexum. But don't fret if you miss the exact moment. Thanks to the moon's enchanting allure, it will appear gloriously full for about 3 enchanting days, a testament to nature's timeless beauty. Any questions? Okay, so one of the most important things with this particular full moon, it's the first full moon after for our season for the beginning of the year. Our year started April 8th, and we'll kind of get into that a little later. But our year actually started April 8th, the first new moon after the spring equinox is when the beginning of our year. So this is actually our first full moon in the year, and it's an accumulation of all that energy from the solar eclipse. We had that huge solar eclipse that had so much energy. People drove for miles just to be in the path of that solar eclipse. So as we continue to move, we're constantly gaining momentum on our projects, on different parts of evolution within our spirit and our mind, as the full moon. So there's a lot of emotions that are coming up within this as well. This particular full moon, by it being in Scorpio, is really like a no nonsense. I'm in your face. Here's what's wrong. So you might have a lot of emotional turmoil going on, and you'll also see that in the world. But again, as we always say, we're on the chaos of bliss. We're on the cusp of chaos and bliss. So with that, you're definitely going to see a lot of things that are chaotic before you get into that bliss. But it also depends on your vibration, because as the earth continues to move into a higher frequency, you have to move with her. If not, you'll be in the lower frequency of the earth. And there'll be a period of time where there'll just be a low earth and a higher earth. Any questions, comments? All right.
Yeah, so what is best practices of one getting in tune to raise their frequency with the earth?
Say that again. What was the first part you said?
I said, what is best practices or what can one do to get in tune with the earth as it raises frequencies?
Oh, yeah. Well, one thing, getting a Namashi compass, but doing things as far as that put you in tune with nature, like hugging a tree, outside activities, meditation. You are already in tune with the earth. Just doing practices to kind of signify that connection with your consciousness is what probably things you would need to practice or incorporate into your daily life. And so we actually have a workshop that was created just for those purposes, because we go off every day, many things we weren't learned on how to harness our energy the most appropriate way, right? We learned how to feed this shell, when you're hungry, and we didn't even learn what was correct to feed the shell for the best sustainability of the body. So those are the types of things we have to get back into as far as understanding what's required to run the physical body, what is considered mental exercises or mental gymnastics, what is spiritual cleansing. So getting back in the workshops that we have, Nifutama workshops, we actually dive deep into just those things that you can do, getting in tune with your breath, studying Kung Fu, all these things that get you in touch with your energy. Did that answer
Thank
your
you.
question? Okay.
Yes, it did. And I yield.
Thank you for your question. Hugging a tree. You'd be surprised. You just sit out. If you have the opportunity to have a house with any type of grass in it, just go lay out in the grass. Especially if it's nice outside. We've been some nice days. Just go lay out in the dirt. It's okay. It's okay. You can clean yourself, but that's how you get in tune. Everything is electric. So if you have that static energy inside you, the earth and the trees, all of that, plant some seeds. As we get into one of the most important parts of the Namashi compass is introducing you to different herbs and how to use them. And that's another way because they are part of the earth, right? So yeah. Any other questions?
Yes, I have one from the chat room, Imperial Minister. It asks, can you explain why the word compass is used in place of calendar?
Indeed. A part of as a Nama Earth Keeper or as a Nama National is to reprogram our brains. So when we start looking at the calendar or the word calendar and different things that were given to us, it kind of programs us into a certain system. So the word compass is a gauge, and it's a gauge to gauge our energy. And so it also notes how, and everybody is familiar with the compass. So that's used as opposed to calendar to get you more in tune with movement and understanding that your frequency, how it's continually moving like a dial on a compass. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Mm-hmm.
Providing direction.
What's that?
No, it's saying providing direction.
Exactly. I hope I answered
Hey,
that.
is there a possibility we can cut the bell off?
The bell? Oh, indeed.
And you was talking about hugging a tree. Interesting.
Yes. There's so many little things that you can do. Sticks that fall out, you can coil copper around them to put them on your altar. Stones, if it's raining outside, you want to put your feet in grass every day, get a stone. You see a nice stone, you're not able to put your foot on the grass every day. Guess what? You got a stone in your house you can put your foot in because that's connected. Everything is connected, and you got a piece right there. But hugging a tree, and if you want to get super deep, you can actually create a band around your head with copper and connect it to the tree.
You don't
And
need all that.
actually, what's that?
I think some people might need all that, but hugging a tree is just your vibration.
Mm-hmm.
And you're in tune with the tree. So you're just there hugging the tree. You can speak to the tree softly, the energy. And if you're lucky, you might hear something. But you don't have to get out. Just hugging a tree. Just, relieve talk to the tree. Your energy is enough for the tree. You don't need all the Aztec copper unless you're trying to balance your energy, but you don't need all that to hug a tree.
Oh, indeed, you don't.
So like I said, you listen good enough, you're a good listener, you might hear something. Like me. But we'll be all right, all right?
Indeed.
How you?
Mm-hmm. Yes, simply hugging a tree is definitely all you need to do. And there's so many different things that you can do to amplify that. But the simplest things is always, if you're looking for a way to do it, you don't have an excuse. It's real simple. Yeah. All right. Any other comments or questions before we move on?
There's no questions in the chat, no hands in the queue, Imperial Minister.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Nama Fable. Ancient cultures utilize storytelling as a fundamental tool for cultural identification and transmission of values, beliefs, and traditions across generations. Stories and fables will serve as a means to explain the origins of our world, the natural phenomenon, and the customs of Nama society. Through myths, legend, folklore, and oral traditions, our ancestors have passed down their cultural heritage, which shapes Nama evolving culture. These fables will often feature gods, heroes, and or moral lessons that reflected the cultural norms and aspirations of the community. Additionally, storytelling fosters a sense of belonging and cohesion, reinforcing social bonds and shared experiences among Nama. Overall, Nama fables will play a vital role in preserving and perpetuating the cultural identity of our diverse kingdom. All right. Anybody have questions about our fables? All right. And here's
Question.
sure.
What's the origin of our fables?
It's from us through the myths, legend, folklore, oral traditions, our ancestors. Many of us have our own experiences that we can, we're good storytellers. So that's the origin of our fables is from us.
So, being passed down through individuals, meaning that they are passed down through all the siblings, or is it one or a selected few?
Well, it's different. Like for me, I was a part of the Washita woman. And so in that there was a lot of things that were provided. And many of those were stories to allow us to teach our daughters and our sons and how to live on as earth keepers. So that's one instance. Many of us have stories from our grandparents, from our parents. So that was one of the things, there's a disconnect, because of the Willie Lynch syndrome that many of us are plagued with, where we don't talk to our elders. They've been through this earth and they have certain lessons. So, have a conversation with them. You never know what those things are, where we can pass on these lessons to the ones coming after us. Because if they had a better playbook, many of us would be in a better position, but we didn't have certain. So these fables serve as a playbook on different lessons that have already been told from our ancestors. Like the Once Malachi book, there's a lot of things for our children to understand. We have not just the parents are the ones, as we say it takes a village. Well, every person in the village might not necessarily be able to touch every child. However, they can pour in with the use of stories and their experiences and how they navigated through different things that might have been tumultuous or different things that have made your life even more fulfilling. There's so many different lessons out there that can be told, and using storytelling is a way that we can do it. So some of us over, the age of 40 plus, we have a lot of lessons. And even the young children have fables that they are even creating for us as well. So the origins are massive. Some are old, some are young, and some are current. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes. Gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions?
Got a question in the
Yes,
chat.
one from the chat.
Okay.
It's asked, will a Nama Fables book be created?
Oh, indeed. Indeed, indeed. We definitely have to create that. All right. Okay, so we'll move on to one of our first fables. All right. Dr. Amari Jones, a brilliant astrophysicist with the skepticism that rivaled any, was having a night and that defied all logic. It was the night of the pink moon, a time known for its strange occurrences. Amari, usually grounded in the cold hard facts of science, was experiencing a sense of magical mishaps. First, it started with his tea. He brewed a pot following his usual routine to the letter. Yet, when he poured a cup, it shimmered an unnatural shade of pink. Taking a tentative sip, he was surprised by a burst of blueberry flavor. Confused, he shrugged it off as a residue from the fresh blueberries he used previously. Then, while working on his latest astrophysics research, an equation he'd been grappling with for weeks suddenly solved itself. The answer appeared in his mind in a flash of sparkling light, accompanied by a giggle that echoed eerily through his lab. Jumping back in his chair, Amari looked around wildly, but he was alone. The pixie's grin widened. Oh, but is it? At least on nights like this, the pink moon grants wishes and amplifies emotions. Seems your frustration with that equation unlocked a new way of thinking, with a little nudge from me, of course. Amari stared at the pixie, then back at the glowing pink moon. Could it be true? Intrigued, he decided to play along. Folding his arms, he looked at the pixie and said, "All right, fairy, if you're real, then grant me a wish. I wish for..." He paused, thinking for a moment. With a mischievous glint in his eye, he finished. "I wish for a cup of tea that tastes exactly the way I like it. No magical surprises." The pixie smiled, faltered for a moment, then it burst out laughing. "You got it, Doc." With a snap of its fingers, Amari's tea mug refilled with a steaming cup of perfectly brewed black tea. The next morning, Amari woke up with a smile. The memory of the delightful dream from the before shadow hour. He went into his lab, eager to get back to work on his research. The equation was still solved, scrawled on the whiteboard in his own handwriting. He knew then that the shadow hour wasn't just a dream, but a reminder to embrace the unexpected. The end. So that is one of the fables, and it's just just a lesson. During the pink moon, you never know what can come about. Um, one of the things when we're born into this world, the more we're on this planet, we're conditioned to forget about our energy. So when you're uncomfortable, that's where things or magic happens. So they've always given us thrown in this cliche for us to embed or to try to embed, old dogs can't learn new tricks. So the longer you're here, you won't find the gumption to change for what, to evolve yourself, but evolve your energy. All right, how'd y'all like the fable?
Better, better, and better.
This is good.
Yeah, I liked it. Very nice.
Interesting.
Yeah. And we'll keep getting better and better and make them more intriguing and inviting and engaging. So that way, as you said, when we have our Fable book, we have something to pass on to our young ones, a blueprint on how to operate, even with the littlest things. Every little thing counts. Why does it count? Because it holds some type of energy, right? In some form or fashion. It's either teaching you something or elevating you in some form or fashion, and there's no such thing as good and bad, so we have to get out of that. All right. So going into the lunar body connection. The lunar connection, exploring the intimate relationship between the moon and the human body. The moon has captivated humanity for millennia. Its luminous presence influencing cultures, myths, and scientific inquiries. Beyond its celestial beauty, there exists a profound connection between the moon and the human body, ranging from the physical to the emotional. This brief delves into the intricate relationship between the moon and various aspects of human existence, from the water within our bodies to the depths of our emotions. Lunar body connection number 1, emotional ties and lunar phases. The moon's phases have long been associated with emotional fluctuations and psychological states. For instance, the full moon is often linked to heightened emotions, increased energy, and even erratic behavior, giving rise to the term lunar effect. How many people have heard that? There's lunatics out there. There's lunatics.
Yes, that was
Yeah.
one thing.
Yeah.
'Cause the elder name of the moon was Luna.
Mm-hmm.
Being that Luna, those who were in tune with Luna becomes lunatics. So, and those who are in tune with the sun or Shemesh, they become soul beings. So, what's the difference in dealing with the ties on individual spirits that becomes Luna or becomes Ra and not Ra'ah?
Hmm. Now, can you give us a little background about the deity Luna?
Yeah, Luna was a being uh, like a troglodyte, and uh, that being planned to take over. He wanted to rule, and in his ruling stage, you know, he caused certain things to happen. Being that he was a Luna, and he was, in that mind frame of being a lunatic, he planted neutralium bomb or bombs into the earth, and in that time creating the uh, effect of having dominion. The ship, it was a ship that we call the Makraba or Nibiru, came past this planet of the earth, this part of the planet, and the ships, 4 ships, was attached to it. And these 4 ships were called wings, and one of the wings went into the planet and thereby causing a separation of the planet and the moon. So they have done all their experiments and, their advanced technology research to find out that the moon is a part of the earth, and the earth is like 1/3 its size. So this being Luna was a troglodyte. And that's where his whole mindset came from. He wanted to rule. He wanted to rule this part of the galaxy or the planet. So those who follow that energy they called them lunatics, but there were beings that, opposed this type of mindset. And these beings were called the enlightened one. And the enlightened one, they go on to tell you, the elders, all the elders, who their names were and their mission. So it's getting back into our story, ancient story. So with that, I yield.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Yeah, since we mentioned lunatics and that energy, we had to give time for that part. I see we have a hand up.
Yes, Sakdeep. Daniel Sakdeep, you have the floor.
Okay, you have the floor. Are you there, brother? We can't hear you if you're there.
Salam alaikum, Magic. Sakdeep. You hear me?
Okay,
Can you hear me?
we can now. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wanted to make a comment. So my son, he's 8, and there's a cartoon that comes on ETV called Luna, and they go around the world doing history and this and that. So that's good to know about the lunatics and all of that. You know,
Okay.
I never even really paid attention that the character was a moon until we're talking about it right now.
Yeah, everything is signs. Nothing is coincidence.
All right, I yield.
All right. Any other questions before we move forward?
Just have one
Salam
question.
alaikum, Admaj. Mystery question: What resources were used to create the Namashi compass?
Well, some of the resources. My apologies. Well, there was quite a few resources. One is myself. I've been a natural healer, studying natural health for over 30 years, herbs, metaphysics. I joined in with astrologists who have get intertwined as far as how our ancient signatures align with the stars and the planets and other celestial bodies. Also, as talked about, the Washita women and other clan mothers had the privilege and the honor to get much information as far as how to get in tune. It makes it difficult if you live in cities, even in rural areas. So it's important. This is actually my second calendar that I've done but this is the first time that it's circular. So one of the most important in doing the studies, I wanted to make it similar to a sacred medicine wheel. So as we use it, it's not just, oh, here's the day, okay, what are we supposed to be doing on this day? And again, those go back to me being a certified natural healer, understanding different things you're supposed to be doing at different times of the day, because it yields for a greater use of your body functioning. All right. So I hope I answered that question.
Indeed. Gratitude.
All right. Thank you for your question.
I have another question from YouTube.
Okay.
It is from Duranki. Why is it important to have the sheep compass when compared to what's available currently? What makes it different or better?
Well, what makes it different is because it's ours. That's first and foremost. We have to create our own culture. And also, if you look at a calendar, you will see, if you look at and we talked about it in the last full moon, of how when you look at the phonetics of the meaning of the dates, they actually tell you right offhand how they kind of change the timing. So it's about your timing. If you don't know what time to catch the bus, then you always gonna be late, right? So if they give you a different time to catch the bus every year, then you're never gonna capitalize on the magic. Let me give you one example. So they say it's a magical time of the year. And literally, it is a magical time of the year because there's a high frequency. The constellation of Ophiuchus, some call it, or they sometimes call it Serpentorius. Well, on November 22nd, the constellation of we enter in that particular constellation. It's a high vibration constellation. Each constellation brings in a certain energy for humanity to thrive or learn a lesson. But every constellation brings in something for us to, it's like, playing a game. If you don't know the rules on how to use, I haven't played video games in ages, like Atari ages or Pac-Man ages. But I'm thinking about playing those particular games back in the day. I remember if you didn't know certain buttons on the joystick, you weren't able to capitalize off of it, right? You weren't able to capitalize off the moves you could make just because you didn't know how to press a button. And that's the same with the calendar. They deliberately changed everything so you wouldn't be able to capitalize off the energy that comes in every year, or even every 28 days, or even 3 days as the moon changes its energy. So all the way up to November, on the start of November 21st sometimes, because you have to think about it, it's fluid. Just like, right now, it's not night, it's not dark, but we don't say daytime, nighttime. We have to give them back their language. That's another important thing, to give them back their language, because their language, what did we learn in school? What was the first thing we learned? We learned spelling, right? We learned to put spells on ourselves. So it's like, oh, that's just a coincidence. No, everything is right in your face. We learned how to spell, but we learned how to spell to our detriment as opposed to our benefit. And once you start breaking down words, you can see the vibrations of those words, and you can, and once you start getting in tune with yourself and your own energy, you can see how the vibrations affect you. So it's not like we're saying do this because it's going to do this. No, we're saying sit down and study yourself. Sit down and be aware of yourself. And the moon is a tool that you can utilize for that purpose. The sun and how its characteristics can be utilized for those purposes. So there's a lot of celestial and terrestrial happenings all over. Like, I had to stop because it's like you can put all the planets, as it come in. There's a lot of things. Like, we're gonna have a Namashi compass every year based off, but you don't even have to recreate it every year, mainly because it's a perfect science. This isn't the first. If you look at the Celtic, I believe the Celtic, they have in some Wicca covens, they actually use a 13-month calendar as well. And some of the Druid, studying some of the Druids and how they actually manage their time or the rotations. When you look at the Farmer's Almanac, they have, and even ancient Native American cultures. So the reason for the Namashi compass is for us to get back in tune with our own energy. And that energy is the same as the Earth's energy, is the same as the moon's energy. Everything is connected. So it's a connection tool for our energy more so than anything. And so every month there's different energies that are more predominant than anything else. So I hope that answered the question.
Yes, it did.
Okay, any others?
Yes. How does the element relate to the compass?
Well, just as the elements relate to the constellations. So we go through, every 28 days we have 4 cycles that we go through. It's right now we're in a fire energy, and that's Aries. Everybody knows Aries is a fire sign. So with those particular months, herbs dealing, like we are in the month of Cayenne. That's why it's called the Cayenne moon, because it's a fire sign. Our totem for this month is Phoenix. So each element is still relative to how they relate to the constellations. So, just not to make it ultra confusing, I'm sure we'll change Aries, Pisces, Gemini, all those particular names. But right now, each sign, if you are aware of any type of astrology, each sign has a relative element that it works with, like Piscean energy, water, they all emotional. Every Pisces, is super emotional, right? Anybody that's a water sign, their emotions are on high. Fire signs, they already just got a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm, and so forth and so on. Then we have the air signs, very mental, everything's about communication. And then we have the earth signs, people with the earth signs, they're very grounded. And so our body goes through each one of these elements as well every year and throughout the day. So the calendar really took a hold on ensuring those colors are resonating throughout it, and taking a special note that you can also, kind of start looking at everything as it relates to a particular element. All right. Did I answer that?
Yes,
Oh
you
yeah.
did. Just to follow. Earlier you mentioned spells, right? Is the Namashi compass language or languages? Is that specific? In other words, how is it presented? In what language or languages?
Oh, it's in English right now.
How is it?
We are still perfecting our language and perfecting our tones. So but very soon y'all gonna have to learn your mastic in order to read our compass.
All right, all right. Indeed, we will. Much gratitude.
Thank you for your questions. All right, any more?
Yeah, so the phases will be like Anifu Tamu said, phase, right?
The phases of the moon? I don't,
Yeah,
what phases?
that's when you were talking about the different signs and the different air signs, water signs, earth signs, these
Right.
signs. Yeah.
Right. So when you look at we can go to it. When you look at the calendar, right? And so right here, just go to 13. So that well, go to 1. So the color red represents fire. That's a symbol for Aries. The next one is green, represented by Taurus. So green is an earth sign, right? So that's air, fire, earth. Next sign is represented by Nifu, air. Okay. And which is the symbol for Gemini. And then you have water. Thank you. The symbol for Cancer. And so that energy continues on every year. Now, when we get to November, we get into a different type of energy. It's a different level of fire. We call it ether. That happens roughly around, it's like in the background of Sagittarius and Scorpio, the Ophiuchus is, but it's a very high energy. And reason why, because it happens right after Thanksgiving. So right after Thanksgiving, all the way to the January 1st, they got you caught up. They got you caught up. You didn't miss the magical time of the year. They tell you it's a magical time of the year because it's literally a magical time of the year. Literally. What is magic? Magic is being able to marry the unconscious to the conscious, to turn molecules into things from your thought. It's a science. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing. And so once we get into, getting back to being scientists of our own energy, nobody has to tell you anything. You don't have to look at a compass. You don't have to look at anything. But you have to have, some certain tools to begin with. So these are just tools. But they make sure you didn't miss the beginning of Serpentorius. It's prime manifestation time. They got you manifesting some Santa Claus and gifts, and if Jesus was born on this day, this was his birthday. No, it wasn't his birthday. No, let's talk about Kwanzaa because they did this and they did that. Everything. And then you didn't miss the winter solstice. This is the last part of the harvest during this year. They got you out shopping, cooking, 9-course dinners. All these things when you're supposed to be, this is the harvest time. This is you're supposed to be hibernation time. Not out gallivanting and exposing your energy unnecessarily. So it's a concentrated effort to taking your energy, because energy is currency. So once you realize how you using your currency, you'll use it a little different. Yeah.
Gratitude. How you?
Okay. Any other questions, comments?
Yes, I have a question. Just building on what you were saying in the question form. So, with knowing self and knowing culture and the transformative aspect of the different signs, how will the G compass provide a more authentic and accurate representation of one's natal chart? Because on the natal, your birth charts, everything is aligned: the sun, the moon, the planets, and the whole nine. So will the G compass provide a more accurate and authentic version of that, or have there been an aspect that has not been looked into yet?
Well, the accuracy as far as let's go back to it. get into all that in a minute.
Well, you
So
gotta look at the science behind what you're doing. If you're looking at that type of magic you seeking. So when you look at the 13, that's the magic. Okay. So they came along in the Greek era, they claim, and created a 12 cycle to attune to who they were, not you. You see how they changed the deity's name? You know, Hermes is Thoth, you feel me? So they did it to benefit them and their society. Okay, so you brought up in this society, and this is what you're given. When you're born, yeah, they take a picture every second. They call it karma astrology. If you ever get that one done. Okay? And that goes along with the exact time you were born, if you know the time. So it's a 0-point reference. Okay. So if you're looking at that on that magic chart, because everything is magic, or the universe is magic. Okay. Which goes into your souls, everything, spirit is nothing. Where you got the magic 13, 28 days. And you got 13 months, which is magic. You go looking for something that you ain't gonna find on paper. You're gonna find it inside. Some things you just you can't wait for somebody to come and tell you everything. You see, in my journey, I came along and proved that wrong. All of it wrong. You know, when I moved to Ocean, it was me. You feel me? So you got that same energy. If you go and try to get a definition, a word, this and that, how it's gonna figure in, well, you know who you are when you look at your earth chart. So you look at your earth chart and you know who you are, you go look at that 13 serpent Taurus, and it gives you a different date or a different month and a different sign. You really go look at that sign, I guarantee you're gonna see yourself. You know, so but you know you got 3 signs into one. So you got to look at your mom and your daddy and you feel me? So you got all 3 of them. So you got to make sure you got that chart right. So Nikola Tesla, Einstein, all the so-called wise guys of this era, they all use the 13th calendar, 13th month. So that's just a fact, not a fee, a fact. So to find that journey, it's in you. And whatever level you got to go to get it, to manifest it, that's what you got to do. That makes sense to you?
Make a lot of sense.
Yes, indeed. Gratitude.
You wonder about that 13 and that 12 and why the 13 was so sacred and the 12 was so out, you know. You had to go into a question of what the 13 really mean, the number 13. So
it always goes to magic.
Yeah.
So when the church came along, what was the first thing they eliminated?
Your parents.
Magic.
So they had to eliminate the magic because they was fearful what? You doing the same thing to them that they did you.
Well, they didn't have a higher level of magic.
And you know what I'm saying? You got more essence in it, remember?
Can use the magic in a whole nother way.
No way.
Exactly.
You got to realize that the main source of everything y'all talking about is melanin. When you have melanin, okay, that make you got a better digestive system. You got a better vision, your 5 senses, you got better, you in tune, if you got melanin in your body. You got folk in America keep trying to adjust themselves based on the Caucasians' perception of life. And that's why they still experimenting Black people, because they don't understand who we are and how you come along. But if you got melanin, everything you do is a unique level. You keep bringing yourself down, trying to cater to somebody else's thinking, not having your own way of thinking. You the shit. You feel me? So
yes, sir.
And the whole universe know you the shit. You feel me?
And don't
right. Art
So
particle.
now you got your own venue, so you can express yourself. And there's normal culture. You feel me?
That's
So you get
right.
rid, we get rid of all that spooklism.
Mhm.
You know, they sit around and want to talk to us and say, well, they say magic. Salam alaikum with magic. Okay. Well, you pray every damn day, don't you?
Pray,
See?
you become prey. Yeah.
Then I realize they praying, they trying to create what? Magic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Them niggas come to saying what? Pray it up. Pray it up. You feel me? So you telling me you say you prayed out to make you a grand wizard, right?
That's right.
That's right.
Pray is to ask for something.
See what
Meditation
I'm
to
saying?
listen.
Mhm.
They
So that's
didn't
why
even
you
even,
go
they didn't
when you
even
go
bastardize praying.
right, but even when you go back to the founding of the country, what we go over last night? What they call themselves? Minister of what?
In the step, planetary
Plenipotentiary.
potentiary. Mm-hmm.
See? They had to create magic, didn't
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
they? To give themselves some authority to sign on behalf of your privileges.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they was doing. You go back and read the book. Things to make you go, right?
That's right. That's right.
So they practice magic every day. Every day. But when you come out like we said, we just children of Maryland. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
We come from the black pot. You feel me? Salam alaikum with magic. They the one that came along and said assalamu alaikum. And wa alaikum assalam. You know what I'm saying? That's what the Catholic Church created. You go back to Maryland, the black Maryland, that's his not natural color. Don't let that spookness mess with you now.
Melanated Maryland.
He said salam alaikum. What do you think I got him? See? The deity in you speaking, they wanted you to go give it to something outside of self. Allah, the Mahdi, Jesus, God, Yahweh, anything outside of yourself. Because they didn't want you to find that God inside of you. You find that God inside of you, they ain't got no more control of you.
It's a wrap.
That keep you submissive. You're doing a good job at it too, huh?
Yes, it is.
Yes,
Funny you said that, because they're talking about this new energy, this new wave of energy that's providing an enlightenment and awakening that's here now.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just in contact with certain DNA structures. So
Remember
that
I said
God
when I
particle.
stood in the infinite flame of the Holy One, or the dwellers enthroned in the flower of fire?
Mm-hmm.
I stood at what I think. Sun was bright in that light, and sun was doing what?
Amen.
Fading out.
Yeah. Fading
That's
out.
what's happening now. So if you got that light in you, it's hitting you. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I got on my ship.
That's right.
So they that fire is here. It ain't going nowhere. It can't go nowhere. But when my uncle said, what he said? He said, you rule for what? Damn, how can you rule that long? So you just at the beginning, because you got immortal fire beings rolling with you.
Indeed.
Perpetuity.
And you know,
You
speaking
see?
of,
So I yield. I just want to come in and put my little 3 cent worth in.
thank you. We
It's y'all
definitely
show
appreciate
tonight.
it. And to piggyback on the answer, Omnia Moon, if you look at it, so the calendar is accurate. There's no, like, I just threw a whole bunch of moon phases in there and see what I come up with. So when the actual first day of the calendar is coincides with the new moon that happened on April 8th. Now it seems like it's not in sync because we're so accustomed to talking about April 8th and March 25th, but this particular calendar, so when you look at the moon, every the moon, you can see for yourself the phases that it goes through, right? This compass actually is a guide for each phase of the moon for 28 days. Every 7 days, the moon changes to something else. And so it happens every 28 days. So every month, this is accurate. So after 13, 28 13 sets of 28 days, you come back to the new moon after the spring equinox in this calendar. Did y'all know that?
Yes. And saying that will say, like, at every new moon, there's a new energy that's being like spotlighted at that
Indeed.
time.
Indeed.
So when it gets to the 13th, that's when it, really that 28.5 days Christ consciousness that they're dealing with, the rising of the chakra, raising your vibration, Jacob's ladder.
Right. We'll talk a little bit about that later. But I wanted to make sure Omni and Moon understand there is accuracy already here in the calendar. It's because it's kind of so off from what we already know. It might not seem that, because if you multiply 28 times 13, you get 364 days. So some ancient cultures, they call
which is a 13, okay? And I gave you science a while ago to show it was real. So to come in behind me, he got it. I said that just the 28. Gates of hell open on 28, okay? The 28 magic, okay? So you got 13 months, equals up 28, and everything revolves around the moon. That's magic itself.
Yes.
I mean, you just have to be about it, and it'll come to you. Okay? But that 28 is magic.
Yes.
Anywhere around it.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they like it or not. All right.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Any other questions? All right. Moving on.
No question in the chat. No hands up.
Thank you. So research indicates that moving to the second note of emotional tides and lunar phases, research indicates that psychiatric hospitals, admissions, emergency room visits, and incidents of certain crimes may peak during full moons. Now, why is that? Anybody that worked in the medical field or first responders know this to be a fact, right?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Exactly.
So, and this has been happening for centuries now. So you say, well, it may be the case. No, it's documented fact. There's more than coincidences that happen in regards to that. All right. From ancient folklore to modern psychology, the moon's phases continue to fascinate and intrigue, shaping cultural beliefs and scientific inquiry alike. The water and the tides of the body. The human body is composed of approximately 75% water, mirroring the Earth's surface. Interestingly, just as the moon's gravitational pull governs the ocean tides, it also exerts a subtle influence on the water within us. Studies show that the moon's gravitational force may affect the water content in our bodies, leading to subtle shifts in hydration levels, blood pressure, and even mood. Namas align activities such as hydration and detoxification with lunar cycles to optimize health and well-being, harnessing the ebb and flow of the moon's energy. So, if anyone's been on the ocean, on the full moon, or the new moon, or any type of moon, it's speaking. It's speaking. So if the tides of our Earth are affected by the moon, why wouldn't you think your body, the water within your body wouldn't be affected with that. So overstanding the hydration levels in your body, that also helps you get in tune with what's going on, because that water helps fire up or transmit that electricity. So there's no stagnation in it. Everything's connected, all the elements. Any questions or comments?
No
Yeah, one
question.
question from YouTube, from Alan Sojourn. He asked, can a compass be used to catch spells on people and things?
Well, not this compass. I mean, you can use whatever you want for anything. It's all about your intentions that you put in it.
Hold on, man, Carl.
This,
What compass is you talking about? Can you use a compass, or you talking about the compass we talking about? What was the question?
He just asked, can a compass be used
Hey,
to
that's
catch?
what I thought. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, of course it can.
Mhm. Yeah, it's all about your attention and intention.
Yeah, then what kind of spell you use?
Mhm.
If you're using that type of spell.
Right.
But you also got to remember, anytime you throw a spell, it's a double-edged sword. You feel me? So you have to make sure you are balanced and focused, and you don't have nothing. As you say, I accept all my agreeable actions and I accept all my disagreeable actions. Well, you have to be balanced, you know.
Mhm.
And before, you know, to make sure you are straight if you talking about walking down that path. You find a lot of them who have attempted to walk down that path through voodoo, and all different arenas, whether they call it ancestor worship or whatever. And you see them have moles, swells come on their body, burnt hands, dark knuckles, and all that stuff. That's because you're using it against with the way it's supposed to go. You feel me? So, and a lot of times you see people get deaf, kill themselves. So you just, you know, even the so-called Bible, which your name make you feel good, it tell you in there, you know, to test it because it's real. Well, you find folk who test it, they like getting stuff done immediately, so they stick with it. Okay, at all costs. It's all bless their hands. They go to the poker, go to the casino, they bless their hands, all kinds of stuff. That's why you see the courtrooms now. You know, they got double doors and hinges, and you can't come in until, you know, the sheriff and everybody then came in and cleared, you know, made sure it's safe. Because back in the day, they knew folk coming in and drop stuff in the courtroom and, you know, mess folk up. You feel me? So you got all kinds of stuff using that compass people do and still do. And all other kind of stuff they do, what you want to call witchcraft, you want to call it that. That's your business. Voodoo, whichever made you feel good. But all type of stuff is going on at the highest level. Don't keep thinking it's at the smallest level. You talking about at the highest level. You talking Supreme Court level, president office level, legislative level. These cats at the top is the so-called wizards of all this so-called magic that's going around. You feel me? So they had to come on elevate just like everybody else, right? So
That's right.
So now they the puppets up top. But none of them ain't came and did what? Ain't none of them came to skate what? Death. They might live 300-400 years, some of them live longer than that, they say. And that's a long time on this earth, in this body, you feel me? But eventually what caught them?
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
See, so where did death come from?
Sense.
The light, right?
That's right.
He said, without the light, I wouldn't exist, right?
That's right.
This is what I just said. He said, death said what? Without the light, I wouldn't exist.
That's right.
So that means if you got the light, there ain't no death. You got death because you ain't got the light. You got a story. You got a myth. You ain't got no facts. So now it's our time to come around and set the record straight, set the record bite straight, so we get in tune with Earth because we're normal Earth keepers. Everybody cool?
Yes. Mighty Craig.
We all right?
Cool.
Right.
Check, huh? Nice, very nice.
Make sure you listen, that's all.
Much appreciated. Yeah, one of the most important things, water. I had a girlfriend, she hated water, still hates water to this day. But it's so important. Everyone's drinking juice and pop and all these different things. The quality of water that you put in your body is so important because that it determines, you know, how things are moving and how things are flowing within you. So it's definitely important not only for hydration, but if you're not drinking the right water, you're not even detoxifying properly. So as we continue to learn, excuse me, to get more in tune with our bodies, you'll be able to sense what water's good, what water's not.
You know, that's gonna be a good topic. Excuse me. Don't mind me having you out. You know, because you got to realize 20, 30 years now, you have people pushing out them kegging machines, kegging water machines, reverse osmosis machines and everything. And the whole point is the water getting in your cells. So you can drink water all day, but if it ain't getting in your cells,
That's right.
it's not, you know, you're still killing yourself. So the water that gets in your cell is 12O6, 12 hydrogen, 6 oxygen. So in the United States, they say water is H2O. That means you got 2 hydrogen, no oxygen, right? Let me see.
2 hydrogen.
Yeah, you see? So that water you say drinking, even spring water, it ain't going in your system. Just why you keep paying it out. You're getting a little bit, so you got to focus on. That's because I say it's going to be a good topic because I know people that left here because of water. Okay,
Water. That's right.
And poison that system behind that kegging machines and all that kind of stuff. Because the only thing that machine is doing is transforming the water to alkaline.
It's shocking.
It shocked the water right to alkaline, and then 72 hours it turned worse than it was. So
Yeah.
you got to learn the science behind the water. So that's gonna be a good class and a long journey on short path on that one, because that's the main subject of normal earth keeper. The water, cook, you gotta cook, you gotta wash, you gotta drink. So it's the water. So that's gonna be very and you know me, I'm already at the high level. So that's gonna be a good interest project as we move forward.
Exactly.
Make sense, everybody? Make
perfect sense, Emperor.
Sure.
All right.
You know, another aspect of water that is also very important. I'm gonna take you all back. Some of you might not have heard of this, but there was a Japanese scientist that actually did an experiment on how water transforms based off the energy around it. So he had all these water bottles, and he put different words on it, right? Love, happy, hate, all different types of words, negative and positive words. Then he left it there for a week. And so after that, he took the molecules of each water bottle into a telescope, and it was drastically different, the molecules. Like the molecules, when he put positive affirmations on the water bottles, had crystals. They looked like snowflakes, like something you want to touch, right? And the water bottles that he put negative affirmations like hate and can't even remember the other ones, but that it literally turned the water molecule was brown and it had a disconnected look. It had no exercise pattern that you could actually see. It was just chaotic and dark. So I said that to say, you know, we speak to each other all the time. Even most importantly, you speak to yourself, and the water in your body is listening to that. It's listening to it. Whether you saying something positive or where you saying something negative, the water in your body hears you. If you're around somebody that doesn't speak to you in a positive way, that water hears you. So what do you think that's doing to the cells in your body? But as the Empress say, we're going to get much deeper into that one. But I just really needed to bring that to your attention and your awareness. All right. Any questions or comments about that? No?
No
Okay.
questions in the chat. No hands up.
All right. We are going to keep it moving. All right. So the next lunar body connection we have is the circadian rhythms and lunar cycles. The circadian rhythms, the internal biological clocks that regulate our sleep-wake cycles, are intricately linked to lunar cycles. Studies have shown that the lunar phases may influence sleep patterns, with some individuals reporting poor sleep quality or increased sleep disturbances during full moons. Oh, I know I have that problem. Yeah, most people like, oh, this must be a full moon. I can't sleep. Energy is rising. What is going on? And sometimes you might have the opposite of it. So everybody is different as far as how you relate. It all depends on what you're putting in your body, what your rhythm is, what your cycle is, because you have to determine your own map, right? That's why I say it's a compass, because it's a guide for you. You just have to learn how to use it. All right. While the exact mechanisms behind this phenomenon remain unclear, it highlights the complex interplay between celestial bodies and human psychology. So we kind of know it's very clear to us. And it's clear because our ancestors created everything like, a Lego puzzle. So we have to get back to what those connections are. We're come outside of our brain to, because when you're thinking, about every book you done read, you bringing in everything that ain't gave you no answers all this time, right? And so when you thinking, what you thinking about? You got to stop thinking, because your subconscious has more of a is more of a pilot than your conscious, I'll say, right? But this compass is geared to help you marry those together. All right, that is the true marriage, Christ consciousness, when you marry the heart and mind and the lower self, lower and higher self. All right. Any questions or comments about that? All right.
Can you speak more on the circadian rhythm and dealing with your environment, your atmosphere that you are presently in?
Well, yes. I mean, everything, actually, the next slide kind of gets much
Okay.
deeper into that. But just real briefly, to answer your question, everything you do, like you don't need, many people don't even need an alarm clock. They just you automatically wake up, right? That's your internal biological clock. You have a natural rhythm. And many people's rhythms is based off the time they were born, right? So if you were born in the shadow hour, your rhythm might be different than anybody else, because that's the time. Hey, this is a new day right now. It could be 11:45 at night, but it's your new day. So as far as what to do, your start, and so your rhythm started, mothers know this, or fathers that take care of children know that in the first few weeks when that baby is there, you got an opportunity to set his rhythm, his or her rhythm. If you don't set that rhythm or help to set a particular rhythm for that baby, Good luck. Good luck. Am I right, Bakai?
Oh yeah. No, yes, 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 yes.
Got to set some type of rhythm. And we have our own rhythm. So our parents kind of set rhythms, wake up, go to school. The school system sets, have infiltrated our rhythms. They made sure that we're doing something at every, cycle, that we won't concentrate on ourselves. So we're there on the cycles that we are at our best. They make sure we got something to do. So you can't tune into what you're supposed to do. Everybody has come here. You came here for a purpose. You got a gift, you got something. Everybody came here. It's like a puzzle, right? So if everybody just come in and jump in to what's already here, how we gonna know what you're supposed to do? Those of us that have children, when you homeschool, one of the most important things, you got to watch that child. What's for this child might not necessarily be for this child.
That's right.
See how this child navigates, see what's best on how. And so parents, we have a awesome opportunity, to break that generational curse, more so than many, because we can set our babies up from, day one. If they're at home, help them set their rhythms up properly. So they're getting up with the ancestors, and they're, being outside when it's the best possible time to be outside. They're in there doing their creative work at the best time that they should be doing their creative work. They're doing everything they're supposed to do based off their particular energies. So, it's just about watching. Again, we've been so engulfed with I gotta go to school, the pipeline to prison, that, or corporate America, whichever one, or the fraternities or sororities or these secret societies. All of those are distractions from your circadian rhythm, your own. And your circadian rhythm is like your own internal clock for your evolution. So if you're not in tune with your own rhythm, you won't be evoluting, boo-boo. Make sense?
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Smiley face.
Right. Now for the cultural significance and symbolism, across diverse cultures and traditions, the moon holds some symbolic significance as a harbinger of change, renewal, and transformation. So that's a part of Nama culture. We know that, the earth, Bakai, Naya Bakai just mentioned earlier how the moon is a part of the earth. And so we know we come from the earth. So it's just a no-brainer. We don't have to guess anymore. We don't have to we don't have to guess. It's right in our face. It's right in our face. Okay. So lunar festivals, rituals, and ceremonies celebrate the moon's cycle, reflecting humanity's enduring fascination with its luminous presence. Whether as a symbol of fertility, femininity, or spiritual enlightenment, the moon's influence permeates art, literature, and religious practices worldwide. Okay. So yes, we definitely have, that's one of the things as part of the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. One of the main things we have to do, we have to celebrate our culture, and that's doing it every day. The moon is a part of us. The moon and all these animals and herbs they're guidings. They're guidings for us. You know, like playing in a video game. You get what they call it? Oh, you get free passes. What they call it? Help me out, y'all. Free passes, stars to do stuff. Uh, nobody plays video games.
Tokens.
Tokens. That's what it.
Coins.
Yeah, coins.
Okay, that's for the gamblers in the house. Y'all go to the casino. It's the coins. Okay. Nonetheless, all these
Yeah, we
things,
talking about video games. They call them tokens.
tokens. That's it. That was a word I was looking for. Token.
Oh yeah, Boston. I think somebody said you just didn't hear.
I heard coins, and then
Oh yeah, it was
think
tokens
about
for a
slot
coin.
machines.
Yeah.
Right, you get tokens. So, you know, we didn't dropped all our tokens. You got tokens happening every month for you, and you just let it just fall to the ground. Okay. So, Bakai, I think this is more so what you were speaking of when we start thinking about the lunar body connection. So, you know, your body naturally, when it has certain things that it does, your body relates to the sun. Like you get tired when it gets a certain time, when the moon's not there. When the moon is not there, the sun is there. So you have a different energy when that happens. When the moon hides and shines, your energy changes just based off that. So and also throughout the day, there's different things that happen. You have the melatonin, you have so many things that are happening. And it's just like, you know, riding a bike, you know, it's just like every system, the circulatory system, digestive system, the endocrine system, dealing with the regulation of your hormones. If your hormones out of whack, you might as well wrap it up right now. You might as well wrap it up. You'll never get yourself straight if you do not have your hormones in check. You know, the doctors, and that's a lot of people's issues, and they don't even realize it. If your hormones can make every organ chaos. I'll just say that. Because your hormones tell everybody's balanced. Hey, we cool, we chilling, we balanced, we pH'd, right? But if your thyroid is off, there's no barometer to know what pH is for your body if your hormones is off. So important. Anybody have any questions or comments about this chart?
I got a question.
Uh-huh.
Why is like charging the body during the sun or the grand rising and working, utilizing the body at that time when it's charging, and they tell us that we can't use a phone while it's charging? Why would we work while charging? And at night, when we're supposed to be enlightened, full of energy, we get tired.
Well, you're saying that during the day, you should just be charging as opposed to exerting any type of mental energy?
Yeah, because we're plugged into the source. Being plugged into the source, the energy, the higher energy, then we are.
Well, at the best time, like the highest noon, so after when the highest part comes into play, then you know that's the time you kind of everybody is, you know, you have to determine what's best for you, because I actually work great during these times. Like by the time, I understand what you're saying, because by the time I want to say 12 or 1, I'm in a sense of winding down as far as like, you know, getting most of things, the major things. That's like my peak time for me. Like 15:30. That's still a good time, but it all depends on you. This is like, if you, for the lack of better word, the normal body, how it reacts to the moon. This is a metaphysical determination. So again, as you said, if you're charging and riding at the same time, how is that beneficial? Because you're still losing energy. So, at high noon, it's important to take a period of time to just charge in the sun and just lay in the grass, not necessarily, to your point, not necessarily just run all the time, but take some moment during that time in the high noon for that recharge.
Okay.
Make sense?
Gratitude. Yeah. Gratitude.
All right.
Yeah.
So I
Well,
see.
you got different energy there too. Talking about the sun. The wise men meet at high noon. But it's not at 12 noon no more. It's around 2 now. 2-ish.
I thought it was
So
1300.
that's meetings, high meetings, center your energy if you into that during that time. That's when the wise meetings is held.
They say now those are the fastest reactions time during that time, 15:30.
You look at this, the late afternoon, you're going into a men. So you're still going into the attune, a ton, amen, in the ANU system, like the medicine wheel or the 4 corners in the circle, you feel me? So each cycle you had that 24-hour cycle. So that'd be 6-hour cycles there, 6 times 4, 24. So you got that 6-hour window there. So you got some that wake up, a lot of elders, they automatic get up at 4 in the morning, get more done between 4 and 6 then. Some people get done the whole day. You feel me?
Goodness, yes.
When you got all that energy coming and going during that early morning, dawn, when the wire is supposed to be up, So you have to balance your clock around that system to get yourself in tune. You got so many distractions now. But that's why it says know thyself. So whatever distraction you come upon, there's something that you got to get. If you don't get it, you're gonna come back around to it somewhere down your journey. So you need to start paying attention now to everything so that you can close some of them closet doors, them invisible doors that you forget. Your ego make you forget, because you know every damn thing. So, you forget certain things a month from now, and that's a crack you left open. So you got all kind of walk-ins. You feel me? So you got to center your energy around the times and just balance yourself and see what's one fit for you. Like going through the 7 chakras, you feel me? You read it, make sure you get the right one. Or better yet, when you go to a leg bar, at the crossroads, you feel me? Stop trying attempting to tell a leg bar what you're going to do, or the crossroads or the energy. That's just your ancestors. And just sit and wait for the soul to come and tell you which way to go. You feel me? So it's the same, each story got their own little, magic behind it. You feel me? So, but dealing with the sun, it's a whole different light in now. The master's out now. Been out 2 years. We're in our 3rd year now. You feel me? So that they ain't never seen that light in this fire. So everything is coming to a head because I had to. You know for yourself, deep down inside you, who's gonna stop 580 million immortal fire beings from taking over this earth? So where you gonna fit? But they can't protect you. They ain't got nothing. They ain't got nothing in the juice. There ain't no light in the tunnel. So you see that energy changing. That might why you're asking questions, because you feeling different. You feel your energy different. You know, you're not that same being as you was a couple years ago. You feel me? So that's that light that's lightening up. So, you know, so I tell you, go in the mirror, I'm right around wrong, you feel me? You know, step your agreeable and disagreeable. So you can balance out, and that deity inside you can manifest. But you have different energy spirits, even all that CME is going on the sun is sending all that radiation to the earth. Okay, they claim how much radiation you're getting, but you got melanin again, you feel me? Mm-hmm. So you see, so it's hitting you different. So, you know, you got to keep until you find that, you know, the right connections. It's there right in you. You just, you know, but that's not let ego get too involved to make you steer you away from that path. Always be open. You know, you don't mind beating yourself up a little bit. You don't mind, but make sure you're right. You stand on that path, Mr. King, remember?
Yes.
So that fire, you feel me?
That's right.
You ain't seen my light I ain't show my light yet. Y'all seen some of you. But, you know, and you know, I'm coming to my seat. So we at the beginning. So which is what I'm developing and growing with you. You feel me? So
yeah. Gratitude.
That's good. Are you?
Yeah. Gratitude.
Yeah, gratitude.
Now, one note that's important, melatonin secretion starts at 2100. Now, so just like your digestion, you know, in order for you to have the proper relaxation, a lot of people don't know what proper relaxation is. When you get into proper relaxation, you're able to recharge your body, recharge everything that's required. There's relaxation and then there's sleep. They're two different things. However, when you actually go to sleep at 2100, or even stop eating, they say stop eating, you want to stop eating 3 hours before you actually go to sleep. That way your body is just focusing on rest as opposed to digestion. The same is the reason why it's important for you to go to bed at 2100, because that's when the melatonin secretion actually starts. And so the melatonin secretion, you know, it goes through a certain process as far as your resting, your hormones, and it's just a balancing for everything. So, you know, if you've noticed that if you don't get into bed at a certain time, you know, the next day you're still waking up at the same time. You know, most people, like clockwork, you know, you have a certain rhythm, you have a certain circadian rhythm. However, if you've ever woke up not rested, these could be the reasons why. If you're going to bed on a full stomach, if you're going to bed before 9 o'clock, not getting enough rest, or sometimes even getting too much rest, because there's a certain amount of sleep required. You know, I learned this when I worked at the post office some many moons ago, but I worked the midnight shift, the what they call it, the graveyard shift. They call it the graveyard shift. And so from 12 to 7 or whatever that was. But and I was going to school in the daytime, but it was interesting because I had such a tight schedule. I had to allot the time, you know, to go to bed. So when I had classes like right at 8 o'clock, I had to be in the bed. Like I would get off of work and go right to class. So I would have to be in the bed by 2 o'clock in order to get a certain amount of sleep. But if I found that if I slept too much, I would be just as tired. So you have to determine how many hours of sleep you need, you know? So again, you have to personalize everything. Nobody can tell you nothing. You got to be aware of yourself in order to get the best use of all these tools we have around us. Make sense?
Yes. Isn't that pertaining to how well your body charged that day?
Yep. Yep. Indeed. How well you are charging. And so, you know, one of the things that's not on here, but people take a lot of, you know, it's like I had to realize at one point, you know, food takes way too much time. Way too much time. And you talking about 3 meals a day? No, I don't eat 3 meals a day. That's too much of my time. You talking about, and I'm not just about to eat nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just about to eat air or something that's just not gonna be sustenance. Because if you eat something that's not, you know, that's gonna sustain your cells or your body, guess what? You gotta eat again. And then you gotta eat again. So if you are, everything is focused, is geared towards focus on your outer shell, you know, your body only wants what's already in it. So if you know, well, I eat this and, you know, I don't think it's no, you know, some people, they still be sliding in that salami and bacon, you know, keep sliding in some things they know that they shouldn't eat. But you have to determine, you know, really watch yourself. And that's going to be the determination whether you on the high frequency earth or the low frequency earth.
Wow.
The high frequency earth, you know, they like, you know, with low frequency earth, you know, people come around all the time. You die, you come back, die, you come back. You know, this level where we at right now, you know, they said the low frequency earth, you die and you just die. It ain't, you can't, there's no more transforming your energy. You just continue on that low vibration. You have no more recourse to elevate to another level anymore. Once the split actually happens to the higher earth. So
I guess that goes into the new heavens and new earth for a new being. It's based on their frequency fluctuations and their intentions.
correct. Because food has frequency.
Mhm.
Everything has frequency. So
Right.
that's why I got a frequency. That it's got a low frequency. And even if you eating some fancy, let me see what's fancy. Ain't no meat fancy.
Escargot.
Escargot. You eating some snails, la-di-da. You know, that snail had a frequency. How is that snail treated? All of it has a frequency, and it actually goes inside of you. You know, that chicken. I know we got some bird lovers on the call.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Carolina. Nothing can be finer.
They threw up their pom-poms when you said yard.
Well,
They must ain't gonna be on. They must not going on a trip to meet Africa then, right?
no. Well,
You
Yeah,
know,
when I go visit, you know, over in Africa, you know, they don't eat. They don't eat nothing. Piss the shit out of the same hole. You feel me?
Yeah, real.
So that make they get a yardbird eat or something to think about, right?
Yeah, boy. But when that time comes,
somebody biting a tender right now, like damn. Chicken wing all in the mouth. Damn.
No more mouthful.
I'm sure they got some bird they eat out there.
Don't forget the whoppers now. Don't forget the whoppers.
What did the elks?
Ewa.
Ewa.
The elks
that's why when I was coming through the law back in the day, yo, you had to carry them normal what them the wire being some chicken every time. Them boys Kroger chicken. That's all you carried. That's all they wanted. That was your offering to the Lord. Some chicken. That's all they wanted. I said, need some chicken in. How they gonna know? How they gonna know any secret eating chicken?
Mhm.
And they say they
Especially from
follow the chief, right?
Chick-fil-A.
They say they follow the chief, right? Because they got the outfit on, right? Like, nigga, shut up. All right, we good. I yield. My bad.
You know,
Y'all
these
know me.
fast food restaurants, you know, you don't realize, I've been guilty. I'm not, you know, I come in here and I speak, I do things to the best of my ability. You know, we're all at different levels. We're on this planet, so we still got lessons and lessons to give, right? But I've been a victim of fast food. Ooh, Peppies. You know, I was a victim of Chick-fil-A. And the thing, but I had to cut it out. And then afterwards, I realized, way back in the day, I remember being a victim of Taco Bell. Ooh, the White Castles, you know, those things. And but then when you learn that they use 52 ingredients outside of chicken,
That's right.
when
That's
they got
right.
stuff on there where you can't even comprehend how to pronounce. It's
Mhm.
a trillion. Do you hear me? Let me say that again. There's a $1 trillion industry to keep us sick. So when
That's
you go
right.
to these fast food places and say, "Oh, can I get a 2-piece and fries?" You know, now they've taken it to other levels, you know, putting human flesh in food.
That's
They're giving
Fable.
you animals. Yeah, we got to be real
Yeah,
careful.
we can go all night and day on that, but you gotta
Right, let me
realize you got in normal culture, you gotta understand that you got 4 cycles here, right? So in these 4 cycles, you should be doing a cleanse. You should be doing a colon cleanse each one of these cycles. So that way, whatever you got in your system, whatever you done put in your system, and at whatever level you was at in your life during that time, you're at least doing a flush every cycle. You feel me?
Right.
To remove a lot of that toxins, you know, and them, you know, like the detox foot bath. You know, that's part of your culture that you got to be doing, because you see a lot of that fat, sugar, salt, all that comes out in that water, depends how dark it is.
Right.
So you know, so you can see how your system is dirty regardless. You can do your best to keep it clean as you want, but it's mandatory that you got to cleanse yourself every quarter, every cycle, to,
indeed.
you know, remove all that the excess, because you know all disease start in the colon.
Mhm.
So regardless of all the parts of your body you're talking about and everything else, if that colon shut down, what you gonna do?
Death begins.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So
Yes.
you gotta, you know, so that's part of our normal culture. Each cycle, you know, we'll come together behind the scene, how we map our stuff out and see which cleanses desirable for whoever. Like I said, I got my own, but you know, that's something we must do during this day and time as you setting the ship up until we able to set sail. We got everything like we, you know, hydroponics, everything else that we doing, water and everything. Then we on the level. But right now, as we coming to that point, you gotta do that. You gotta do that self healing, and on top of the affirmations and everything else, sleep and walking and working out and everything. But you gotta cleanse that colon, cleanse your system, and because, like I said, you can be called nowhere land, and you got a Chick-fil-A there, you talking that bullshit you want. You see me? You're gonna get the salad, you're gonna get the milkshake, you're gonna get, and I ain't not the milkshake, lemonade. You feel me?
That
But
frozen
then you're gonna slip some of
lemonade.
them damn chicken nuggets on the side, right? I'm talking
That
that
frozen
Real.
lemonade.
you know what I'm
Real.
saying?
I already know I am. I ain't much
So you
Feel
know
it.
you're gonna
I'm
do
telling
that cleanse next month. You feel me?
you. I'm gonna do
But you
that
know,
clear.
you got that. That's why I say it's staying real with, you know. You know me.
right.
Right, and
I'll
it's,
be real
you
with
know,
I'm a
you.
numb
everybody,
up and down the earth,
of course, we are all at different levels, you know, but being aware, as the Empress say, you got to do what you got to do. You know, we're also on this planet to have some joy, right? Sometimes that chicken nugget is real joyful with that frozen lemonade. So, you know, but again, everything is about balance. But, you know,
Don't
your
wrestle with your mind. If your mind tell you
baby,
to do it, He said, "You're
Well,
wrestling with your
that's why they
mind."
tell you in Solomon. You know what I'm saying? What Solomon
Tell
say?
you,
Your heart desire. You know,
yeah,
what's need to have a desire then, you feel me?
that's right. You feel me?
You know?
You got a desire. Who gave it to me?
You feel me?
Where did it come
That's what that
from?
discipline comes from. Discipline.
What a
That
master
discipline.
doing here? I didn't call it. You know.
Discipline of the gods.
That goes back to like everything in moderation, right? You don't want to
Exactly.
overdo nothing until it becomes a
Yeah,
problem and addiction for you. So yeah, that makes sense.
fight your own mind. You know, that's yours.
That's right. That's why I give you simple exercises, right?
Simple. Keep it simple.
Keep
Keep
it
it
simple.
simple.
That's why I'm saying it ain't that hard. Just look at it.
Ain't that hard.
If you have took the time and did what I asked you to do, you already see the effect. Or you
That's
got
right.
someone went in and didn't have the eyes closed. You feel me?
Mhm.
So, you know, if you took the time to look at yourself within yourself and talk to yourself probably for the first time, you'll start to see improvement. You feel me?
Yes.
It's not that hard. It's hard because the
Hey.
religious sect, what they did religion last 50 years, is that they completely reprogram your mind. And, you know, so you can't think for self. You know, because everything you do, you got to give it to someone outside of you. So that's not accountability. So who won't live in a world where there ain't no accountability? If that's the case, then why ain't everybody millionaires?
That's right. That's
Feel
right.
me? So you got to balance, you know. Does that make sense, everybody? We good?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know, you
Oh,
said something very key about balancing your mind. You know, in our holy tablets in the living chapter 7, living soul, one of the most important things about the mind is that you realize that it's an elusive animal. It's like a child, and it wants what it wants anytime it wants it. And until you make that realization that it's going to ask you, it's going to keep nudging at you. But you gotta, you know, you have to see where your evolution is in order to tame the mind. Oh yeah, that's a fun process for those of us.
Agree with that. That's why we say in our affirmations from beast to man to human being to supreme being, right? Because you got to tame the mind to get to supreme.
Gotta tame that
That's
mind.
perfect. Yeah.
Hold on now, you didn't get that last
supreme
one. You
being,
didn't get that last
supreme
one.
being to being.
To
Being.
being,
You
to
didn't
being,
get that.
to being, to being,
Yeah.
to being.
Yeesh.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you get the being, that's when you get the ESB.
That's what I'm talking about.
See? Everybody want to build
Yes.
ESB, but you got them tests you got to go through.
Mm-hmm.
And 99.9% of the world is on beast level.
Consistency and
Hmm.
discipline.
See? That's on they're on the beast level. Because you know, you're at the root chakra. And the root chakra is red, right?
Yep.
And red means disease. Disease.
It's
So you living in a world that's plagued by what? Disease. So
not
the
an
world is not on balance, but you can get yourself on balance with the 7 chakras within your, you know, your kundalini. But that red one is the main one. But as a people, the world is completely off. So you know, so that's why numbers come in now. Numbers are earth keeper, and we got to balance that, or the earth will have no need for us.
balance.
She had no need for you because your love is fake. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Your worship is fake. So what's your point? If you can't go interstellar. So what's your point? What's your purpose for existence? Because someone came and died for you? That's bullshit. Ain't nobody in their right mind gonna come do those stupid stuff like that. Not in the universe feel like you see now.
Worthless consumer. He's just a worthless consumer.
It's just all. You see him?
Right.
It's like you see, you go on Facebook now, like everybody posts something on your page about somebody big and fat losing 50 pounds in a week, all that crap. You feel me? You know, your mind is bogged down on that worthless crap when you better be worried about your soul.
And that's what they classify you as, especially in America. They classify you as a useless eater.
Useless.
Yeah, useless.
Chatter. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sheeple.
Useless eater.
Even
Right.
cattle have a purpose. Well, I guess, they start making human meat. That's why they started using it.
You got to give it a purpose. You remember the 7 atoms that was created?
So,
They didn't have a purpose. And the whole thing was give them a purpose. And giving them a purpose, then it had a principle. So you utilize them. And that was Enki utilized them. But Nimma couldn't utilize the purpose of Enki's creation.
Yeah,
Didn't
because
have
but look, I
purpose.
mean, that's right. Because each Enki controlled or was owned. I won't say control. He owned millions of M's, even outside his father, Anu. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And he only released certain M's to mankind. And so when they get there, they couldn't manifest him because he had the essence of it. Like you said, they was getting a piece of it, but he had the essence of it. You feel me?
Yes.
So it came from him. You get a piece of it, but you can't get all of it. You feel me? You got folk living today feel like they got to have it all to become whatever. You feel me? Instead of just having a little piece. And that piece carries to another piece, which carries to another piece, which makes up another piece. And now you got a home that you can dock it in without fear of failure. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense to you?
That's right. Follow the drinking gourd. That's right. That's all they did. They had to follow the drinking gourd. That's what the ancestors did.
Indeed. All right. Any more questions, comments? All right, let's move forward. All right. Okay. The connection between the moon and the human body transcends mere observation, delving into the realms of science, spirituality, and cultural symbolism. From the rhythmic dance of tides to the subtle nuances of emotional expressions, the moon leaves an indelible imprint on our lives, reminding us of our profound interconnectedness with the cosmos. As we continue to explore this celestial bond, we unveil the mysteries of existence, one lunar cycle at a time. The solar plexus, a connection of 2 bundles of nerves that intertwine and pass each at a central location in the abdomen. Okay. The She equals energy / frequency. She rises through the spinal column and it rests in the solar plexus for 2.5 days. The 2.5 days is significant because it is the time each month that the moon is in the sign in which you were born under, your sun sign. The moon goes every 28 to 29 days, just like the female cycle. It goes through each constellation in the sky. Every person has 2.5 days in each month where the moon is in their sun sign. The precious sheet of light that happens is the same precious sheet that happened the moment of your birth, and your body knows when that is. You may not know, but your subconscious body knows. What exactly happened? It takes electrical charges from the sun and the moon, electromagnetic energy, and charges the solar plexus. This is why it's called the solar plexus. Depending on how you treat your body, mind, and spirit depends on if large amounts of high octane reaches the brain. This cycle happens in accordance with the approximately 29.5 cycle of the moon energy, flows from the thyroid region and the thymus to the cortex and awakens dormant, unactive parts of the brain, especially in the frontal lobes. The whole brain now begins to pulse as a unit, generating coherently within all frequency bands. Boom. How about that?
Impressive.
That's where the energy manipulation comes in. That
Uh-huh.
the mind energy connection.
Well, what's interesting is that every month your energy harnesses at your solar plexus, right? And whatever sun sign you were born in, that's the time that you're able to exercise Kundalini energy. But many a times it doesn't rise up if you're not in tune to push that up to the higher parts of the brain. Go ahead, Bakai. I'm gonna let you have it.
Oh, no, you did it good. You know, that Kundalini, yeah, raising that level, you know, to enlightenment. That's a major thing every month. You know, abstinence, you know, fasting.
Yeah,
You know,
but you
'cause,
gotta make sure each one is unblocked.
yeah, you got to unblock it. That's the major thing. You got to make sure that it's in the seed. It's not in the
Right.
seed, you know, and the seed, your state, your state, your state. You know, you have to have that perfectly aligned. And without it being in that seat, it don't matter how much energy you radiate from the lower chakra, it's not going through. So, you know, you got to, you know, balance them chakras. And that's tonation when you're dealing with the tonation, dealing with the languages, you know, that frequency, the proper tonation of the languages, dealing with that principle of the iron principle. If you don't have that iron principle that allow for the fluency, the variegation that our state, you know, exemplifies, the fluency and the variegation, you know, you don't allow that, then it's not properly being toned because you're rejecting some part of that frequency of that tone that is needed. You got a brother from Sampson County, North Carolina, open the gates with his tone, with his tone, with his tone. And you have to ask the question, who back then that put the spell on them had a tone from Sampson County, North Carolina?
Ta-da.
That's the question. You feel me?
Good question, right?
That's a question. Back then, okay, the one who made the key got the key. The only one. The only circle know where it begins and ends.
Yeah, because once you see the stories that they wrote, they talking about material stuff, the cup, chassis cup, the art of the cup and everything. Always got to be, and the whole point is inside you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's that inner fire that they did so much to suppress because certain races didn't have it. Remember, you created that lesser light. You the one, your ancestors created that 6 ether.
Mm-hmm.
You vibrate on 9 ether.
Yes.
So you remember back in the day when they had beepers out?
Mm-hmm.
Why would the beepers vibrate on 8 megahertz?
Yes.
You notice all the guys who had them on their hips, now they got a little limp, don't they?
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right.
Or they got prostate issues, don't they?
They got prostate issue. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
See? So you see
Crystals.
that?
Yeah.
See, because you vibrate on 9 megahertz of your melanin in your skin.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeesh.
So you see, so that's 6 ether. Then if you pull out your hair, which they stop straightening, you pull out your hair, you got a 9. You pull out the Caucasoid race hair, they got a 6. They bury you 6 feet deep. So they always vibrating on that 6 ether. But that's all they can get out of 3 schools we left with the more in the mirror. You feel me? Coming out of Egypt.
Yeah.
That makes sense to you?
Make perfect sense. That's 6 protons, 6 electrons, 6 neutrons. Yeah. Make perfect sense. Yeah.
And that's always been a key.
Yeah.
They try to turn it and say it's the devil or the evil and all that. No, it's always been a key. That's why they didn't want you to master it, because they can't master it.
They can't master. No, that 12 and that 13, those are the only one that's stable. And sometimes the 14. Isotopes.
14 going to that spiritual thing, realm.
Yeah, going into
The soul
spiritual.
realm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like when you
Yeah.
have those cousins and grandma cooks something really, really good, and you be like, how does it taste? Oh, it's nasty. They tell you it's nasty. You don't want none of this, you know.
Oh, see, I didn't come. We didn't come up like that because I was always in the kitchen with grandma.
Yeah,
So I
all
was a
right.
taster.
For real. Me
Yeah.
too.
They were
But
running me out of
that's
the
the
kitchen. They always
point.
ran me out of the kitchen.
But
I was
just
a taste tester.
right,
I
but
want to taste
just
that. I
the
want to taste
point
that.
of it, just the point of the conversation.
I
If
got
he
you.
likes it, yeah.
The
And
same
Mikey ain't gonna
way,
like it. You remember that one? Mikey ain't gonna like it. He gonna like it. Mikey ain't gonna like it. He gonna like it. Yeah. He likes it. Hey, Mikey.
right.
That's that tail eye vision again.
Right. The point is you don't need anyone to tell you anything. You have to get in tune with what's going on with you. So one of the most important points on here is that for 2.5 days, for every sign, you have to see that's your, I guess you could say your 0 time reference for every month with that solar plex energy. So like right now, the full moon is in Scorpio, right? So the moon will be in Scorpio to the 25th, and then it travels to Sagittarius. And it's the same cycles that it goes through, it's same cycles, but it's just showing you how important the moon is to your life. You know, it's actually telling you, hey, this is the time, the moment of birth. This is the precious sheet energy, the same time every month that you got that spark that came into your mother's womb. That's the same energy that happens every month for you. So you have to really get in tune to see how you can capitalize on the Kundalini energy because it's different for everyone. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and also you got to get into practice of the Kundalini. You can't just claim it. You got to understand it. So there's a yoga, Egyptian yoga, that's practiced
Kundalini.
throughout.
Yeah, it's Kundalini.
You know, that we would introduce and train under our system to balance that Kundalini, that to help you control that Kundalini. You know, and it's a must now because you got so much radiation coming from the sun in the last 2 years. It's like you have 5 M flares off right now. In one day, you feel me, 24 hours. So there's nothing. So it's giving you the signs to get balanced, and so you can control that energy.
Yeah.
You feel me? That makes sense to you?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And just
So like now, you got 1917, right? So you got the full moon coming in 30 minutes, right?
Yeah.
All right. So now we start the call
Right.
on the day before the full moon. We're gonna end the call on the full moon. You feel me? So you see all the energy that you gathering right here on this call right now. I know you know it. Feel me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ish.
yeah. So
be mindful. Hold on, Carl. So be mindful of what you ask for, and make sure you seek that what you're asking for, because that's what the pink moon is about. Is prosperity, wealth, health. So you have to make sure your affirmation is you serious about your affirmation. Makes sense to you.
Yes. Perfect sense.
Ish. Smiley face.
Yeah.
So
It's that sentient process.
It's definitely a process. So anyone that's on a Scorpio's on the call, when the full moon is in your sign, that's a high value for you. So any Scorpios
well,
on
that's why we talk about the 13th cycle.
Mhm.
Because some are Scorpio in the 12th cycle, but they're not a Scorpio in the 13th cycle. So they need to go make sure they go check to make sure they got the right cycle. And I know a lot of times you're gonna feel folk that leave the 12 and go to the 13, and they just gonna leave the 13 alone because they just want to be that 12. It's just their ego. You feel me? and they just don't want to accept it. So that's fine. It ain't for them. You feel me? You just keep moving. But those who know, everything revolves around that 1-3.
Mhm.
Okay.
You have to, especially for you all that have been born on a cusp, like if he's born on the 21st, it's like, oh, I could be this, I could be that. Again, no one is the true sign because you have so much going on, whether you have your mother's DNA and your grandparents' DNA that also contributed to you actually being fully that particular sign. But it's about the time you were born, where the constellations were. That is what harnesses your energy. So as you continue to overstand the moon, you get more in tune, how you start getting your own signals as far as when to best move and know, oh yeah, I'm really under this sign or I'm really under that sign. So it's just
Well, you got to also remember, Carl. You got to remember, Carl. You got to remember, Carl. You chose to come here.
exactly. You chose to come here.
You chose to come here. So you chose to come under that sign. So I'm listening to you. I'm like, well, you taking accountability away. They chose to come in that realm where they sit. So you got to make sure you get them calculations right. That's why we're giving you the 13. So you can get them calculations right. You get the calculation right on your father and your mother, because in reality, you all 12 signs in the one, all 13 signs in the one. It's just different parts of the month that you're going through each sign. But you got to know who you is, your essence, so that way you can get the full benefit knowing your mind, body, and soul. That makes sense to you. So I didn't mean to cut you off like that, Carl, but I had to. You were going somewhere, and I like, well, they chose to come in now. You take accountability away from that.
Right. And they chose to come in under a disjointed sign, because no one is that actual sign. There's no way you can be that actual sign because of how you don't even just have physical DNA, you have spiritual DNA, right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? And you got, so that's just you balancing. And don't be scared to be wrong. You know what I'm saying? Don't be so hard on yourself. You feel me? It's don't be so hard on you. A lot of people so hard on themselves.
Well, that has to do
death
with
don't have no discrimination, whether you're hard or light. You feel me?
Well, the hardness, all of that comes from Willie Lynch residue. Many people don't realize, how we operate is how our households operated. And many of the traditions that we have is Willie Lynch residue. So what is Willie Lynch residue? Where you use sarcasm as your normal form of communication, where you're pitting light skin against dark skin, where you could have some internal trauma because of that. And if you haven't healed that internal trauma, guess what? When you have situations as an adult, you're operating from those traumatic situations. So please, everybody, deal with your trauma, right? We all are here to clean it up. We the cleanup people, right? So to say, because some of us are some of the first generations that are actually acknowledging. We're some of the first generations that even allowed to release the trauma. So don't be mad at your people. Some of them are so hypnotized and so traumatized, they don't even know how to act in any other way, right? So we're here. This Nama culture is something so magnificent because it takes us out of it, gives us the opportunity to live outside of the Willie Lynch residue. That stuff is 430 years being eradicated from our DNA. I'm telling you, it's something so magical. I'm tingling right now. You have no idea how special it is that you're right here, right now, to be able to eradicate 430 years of hypnotizing and programming. Ooh, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks.
Yes.
Ain't no way we made it. It ain't no way we couldn't have made it through all of this if we weren't products of the Most High. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Well, you got to go deep inside yourself to know that for you to be here now. You was already here back then. So you just identifying who you really is, finding yourself.
If thanks.
So if you on this ship, you feel me? You already programmed. That's why we open the doors like we open, because you got a lot of people saying, "Well, I'm there," but they get on the ship and you see the results. You feel me? You got a lot of schooling and training that you gotta have. So that's why the university and the academy is so important, so that they can go through that system while we on the other side moving the ship, and also learning with them through certain dialects we have. But everybody got their own. Everybody's waking up to that inner light. I can say it that way. So it's all coming to reckon this year. 58 number 3.
Yeah.
So,
If it's in them, if that light is in them, Emperor, it'll respond.
that's right. Outside of that, we ain't worried about it. We ain't talking about it. It don't mean nothing. Yeah. So we already know you got 26,000 years. So there ain't no beef to us.
No debate. No debate.
Ain't no beef at all. We see you in 26. Ain't no problem.
Right?
That's it.
You wouldn't want to be.
Said and done.
All right. Exactly. So let's we have one question, Asaru. Asaru?
Yes, sir. Yes. Assalamu alaikum with magic. On this topic that we were just discussing just now, actually I have a quick question, and it's about sending y'all my stuff. And I wanted to ask real quick, because I don't have like a traditional type of resume.
Okay, so Asaru, you need to send a note to the number. That's not the conversation for this call.
Oh, okay. I apologize.
Not a problem. You, if someone can put the number, the 870, and the email address in the chat for Asaru, so he can give us a correct contact. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Anybody else?
What's that?
I said anybody else.
Oh. All right. So we're going to move forward with some of the most important glands that connect with the solar plexus in that wonderful rhythm. So the thyroid gland, starting from the bottom, situated in the neck, the thyroid gland produces hormones which regulate metabolism, growth, and energy expenditure, as well as helps regulate calcium levels in the blood. Okay. The pituitary gland.
You got a lot of people got thyroid issues.
And you know what? If you have, everything is about hormones. So you got to get you some organic iodine. You got to get it naturally in some type of way. That helps for balance your hormone. People are overweight, got kidney issues, got all types of issues. And they're trying to figure out what's going on. It's because you have an off-balance hormone. Now, another thing is, if you're not getting your correct amounts of iodine, you get it from the doctor, test it, ask your energy, is this right for me? And listen to yourself. Be okay with listening to yourself. But I teach about how to actually get into your the kinesiology of your body so you can hear your messages accurately. But another thing that you can take advantage of is Bach flower remedies. Bach flowers is a tremendous tool that you can use. This doctor, his name is Dr. Bach. He noted that there were flowers that actually help balance out emotional, physical, any type of imbalances that you could possibly have. And so when you have mental and emotional imbalances, it's relative to a hormonal imbalance, right? If your hormones is off, everything is off, right? Nothing is working right. Nothing is working right. Well, they say you have a timer. What those used to things you said need a timer? Come on, electricians, help me out. Did the thermostat need a timer? Or the oven needed a timer? Or the water heater needed a timer? Something needed a timer. And if you didn't have that timer right, it was just off. Everything was off.
Our timing built in the car.
There we go.
Car,
I knew
yeah.
something needed a timer.
Yeah, you getting there.
The same with the thyroid gland. It's your timer. It regulates, everything. So if your hormones ain't right, you
But
could be.
wasn't that due to back when they were doing surgery on the so-called Adam apple? It was removing the thyroids.
That
They were
that's why, they take hormone pills. They're also, they remove the appendix. They remove what's that other one in the throat?
along
The tonsils.
The tonsils.
tonsils. Yeah,
There it
the
is.
tonsils.
The appendix, the tonsils, those are spiritual organs. They don't, because they didn't figure out how to use them. They just say, oh, we just take it out if there's something wrong with it.
Well, that's why they do with a lot of elders. That's why a lot of people feel so bad for the elders, because they put trust in the doctors, MDs.
Yep, and all those.
And they don't realize is that these ain't no bushers, and they go in and they ain't really got no issues, and they think they're getting these little organs taken out, and they don't really ain't, and it doesn't even make sense the way they doing the elders, and everything's put right back on the market. You feel me? And a lot of times these cats ain't got nothing wrong with it. It's, there's nothing wrong with some of the organs, and just because they going in and do something, they'll take something else out, and these people suffer the rest of their journey.
But didn't they write that stuff out? Didn't they write themselves into that story?
Yeah, but that's why I say they believe in the MDs. We had a national report. I ain't gonna call his name, gonna give him no energy. But his mom was taking blood pills for 30 years. Found out when the doctor died, she didn't need to take blood pills at all. So you just that trust you give that MD or that doctor without doing your own research. And he's only about that dollar. First 10 patients a day, that's his car payment. And next 10 is the house note. Next 10 is the building. Next 10 is the employees. The rest of the month, he kicking. You feel me? That's just the system. So it's just sad the way they treat the elders now. And they don't have the right people or their family members to come in and really question the doctor about what the hell they doing. You feel me?
To advocate for them.
Yeah, so it's sad out there for citizens of American culture.
They hijacking the mind now, and that blue chip, putting that blue chip into the individual. Now that's a part of the NOAA project. She collect.
Yeah, but they said something about Swiss over there. They got what, 80% of their people got a chip now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're hijacking the mind. The hyper reality. Yeah.
We've been knowing it for so long. We're just now seeing it.
That's AI project right there. You feed AI information from a mind that was born in 1920, 1930, 1940, on up to now. She got residue of the past where she can see things, or it can see things. That's a part of the AI project.
Oh yeah, they've United States has always been behind about 100 steps in technology, but by us having a more of a global community, we're able to see other countries' technology faster than we used to before. But they've always been up on things. They've had that for at least 20 years, but it's more evident because everybody else is up on it now. But the United States, they hold the technology. They give it to the military first, and then put it out to the consumers at a very nice.
Well, hold on
About
now.
the
You got
mark.
a little,
Huh?
hold on, you got a little something back with this. It's called a military complex. They
Oh,
get it
Secretary of
first,
State.
not the United States. You got that a little wrong. The
Thank you.
military industrial complex.
You are
Get it
absolutely right. Thank you.
There you go. And then they allow the United States, whatever they feel like letting them know about that project
Indeed.
because of the authority that's at hand, for those who know, right?
Right. So yes, it's important that we understand. Did I read all these?
Nope.
Emperor, isn't that what the Ariel talked about dealing with the old kingdom?
With the old kingdom?
Hmm.
On what level?
That they had a design created that
Well, they had designs created for everything throughout the universe. They just said certain designs like mankind is not used no more. So that's why they say the human race is being watched so closely, because that design is not needed in the universe no more.
Damn.
Mhm,
They say
mhm.
we outdated. We the old iPhone.
Yeah.
We the what do you call
You know,
it? We iPods, huh?
something like this, like they come in and give you that
Old
story that, they come in and give you that story, say Zukor or Adam for some people, named all the animals. Then you find out that that's a lie, because they was created other parts of the universe. It's called what was the name of the company? The Bug? What was it? What was the name of that company? The Bug Industry? That they make all kind of animals for different elites around the universe.
Yeah,
Bug
yes.
Blossom, Bug Blossom. or
Bug
something like that.
Blossom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bug Blossom.
And it's,
Let's
Mhm.
not
what she
detail
said,
that.
think about the platypus, right? Said, think about the platypus. What? There was some master in another galaxy wanted that to be made, and they made it.
Mm.
That
But
was
what
Mother
you see?
Hubert. That's Mother Hubert. That was Mother Hubert project right there. Mother Hubert. She went
So
throughout all, she created all, yeah. Hmm.
so you see how so people say, why they don't come and talk to us? You say, for what? What do you have that they need? They are interstellar. You just can't get to the moon
Yeah.
because of what you done. You shut the mind down.
Mhm.
So they shut the mind down back in Nikola Tesla days, because if the crack happened in 1400s, when the domain sent the old kingdom back to Orion, as it is written, and they opened up that spell gate and allowed certain energy in. So that's what's coming in now. It's still leaking. But they say it take them over 5,000 years before they have enough equipment in this area to really crush that whole system.
Yeah.
That the old kingdom, Egypt, or the Achaemenid race, the priests created to trap you here. That's why they call it prison planet.
Indeed.
Everybody think they're getting out of here. Like, okay. You had to be you had to be a master of masters to get out of here. You feel me?
That's right.
And they gave you one. What was his name? His name was Men. Remember? Men. You remember that story about Men? He was able to get out.
Rise up. Raise your vibration.
See, I was able to get out and get in. You feel me?
That's right.
Without any complications, without even doctoring, without anything they got on this planet. I ain't need none of it. Matter of fact, I used what they got here and made it better.
Give thanks.
You know what I'm saying? I took the Psalms and made them work.
Give thanks.
You feel me?
Real.
What the homeboy say, hold on a minute. So you took their book and you read their song and you opened up the gates with it? Impossible.
Talk about
I
them.
am possible.
He said, you able to do that. You really what he say? You able to do that? If you able to do that, then what? It's what you say go.
What you say?
That ain't never been done. Not even my precious Jesus been able to do that stuff. That's why he said, my boy said that, you know. He ain't even been able to do that. So you what you done came with, they done equip you with everything you need to finish your job, get the job done. And got the elders around you now. And got your warriors now. And just me coming to my seat now. Figuring out the rest of the puzzle. You feel me?
So we humbly are gracious to be in the presence, to learn and get better, better, and better.
But one thing I can say in the book of Enoch, it talk about those that don't sleep. And we don't sleep. I'm telling you.
I heard them say a while ago, like me, boom, 3 o'clock, I'm wide open.
Wide awake, you're like, woo.
That's for
Energy
the
coming through.
elders and the and you're looking at the rhythm. What happens during that time is actually, where is it?
Back. Circadian rhythm.
During at 3, so it's the lowest body temperature, right? Your deepest sleep is 2. So if you waking up like at this particular note, and what do they say when energy or spirits come into your energy, it's always cold, right? So it makes sense that they're at the lowest body temperature or the deepest sleep is like you're at your highest frequency, right? In your brain waves. So that's where they're able to come in where everything is kind of silent, low and high at the same time. Sadiq, you have a question?
Sack deep.
Sadiq?
Salam alaikum wa magic. Suck deep. So you said at 3 and 4 o'clock, that's when we're at our highest frequency of sleep?
In the morning, well, I can add on to that. That's in the old heads and how it travels. They usually up around 3:30 in the morning. That's why they shut down around. I noticed she said 2100 a while ago, which was interesting. Because I got a couple elders around me. I can't talk to them about 2100. And then that's why they're getting up at 3:30, 4 o'clock. And like I said, between that time, that's the high. You got the highest vibration going on the earth. I'll leave it at that level. Well, some say you got messengers going up, messengers coming down on different levels. But you got to be in tune, have your shrine or whatever and do what you're going to do. A lot of times just staying focused on just looking at yourself in the mirror and just staying focused on that third eye between your eyes. And you just stay focused and focus on your breath. And if you focus on your breath, you'll stop thinking. So the whole master of breathing is not think. Never let them see you breathing, you feel me? So you got to get down to that level, in that time, because you got other elders around the world is on that same zone. So you be able to connect. And sometimes you might get an awakening, sometimes you might get a shock, you never know. But you're able to connect with the elders that's actually performing and getting up doing what they need to do, because they not normal earth keepers, but they are earth keepers. You feel me? On another level. They help you out, Sadiq, or Carl, you got something to add to that?
So they said that the elders, it's like, in a sense, it just came to me. It's like those are the earth keepers or keepers of the spirit or keepers of the energy. They wake up at that time to get the messages that go for the day of the week or whatever that's required for the community.
Well, I say they get more done between 4 and 7, and some people get done through the whole day.
Oh, yeah.
You feel me? So they help you out. They help you out, Sadiq.
Yeah, at a lot of time, at 3 and 4 o'clock, a lot of that time I'm actually working, and an extremely heavy sleep comes to me.
Oh yeah, you get hit.
Yeah.
You out there on the dock, and you out there in the air, right?
Right.
Yeah, you out there in the air. You got all that water out there too.
Yeah, that portal opens that time.
Yeah, you got a whole lot of portal coming up through that water, buddy. You feeling it now, so you see how in tune you is. That 17 minutes help you out a whole lot during that time. You got it programmed to take that little 30-minute break they give you take that little 17-minute relaxation. Do that a couple times with that civic method, that 17-minute one. See how that help you out during that time.
Do your whole affirmation.
Right.
Gratitude.
Gratitude. Thank you. I yield.
You know, that's once you do that tune, you're gonna do that. You're gonna do that front and back. It's gonna tone you to the frequency. So
yeah, I was listening to y'all today
yeah.
with that. I was listening to y'all today, Mark. I played today when y'all was talking on the call, and but Cal was reading it. I was like, we need to go 7 times on that, or maybe 9.
9.
It's too short. Yeah, it's too
13.
short.
So I had to update that to 9 because y'all started to get that vibration. I was like, actually that is the anthem. And then you do it 9 times. You do it 9 times. Like might raise by themselves.
9 or 13. You hear me, Emperor? 9 or 13 times.
I say 9 because 9 is supreme mathematics.
Yeah.
And you go back and forth, so that's 18, really.
True that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we working on it. So I'm saying, go ahead, Bob.
That should also be implemented into the language.
All right. We got 3
Of
minutes.
course.
3 minutes, y'all.
I'm just saying. Can we?
Oh, you talking about, and yeah, we can do, us. We vibe. We be developing. We different,
Okay.
we come, everything's coming in. And everything cultivate, you feel me?
Awesome.
If if it need to be there, we're gonna put it there.
Always.
You feel me?
Yes.
All right, let's keep it moving, y'all. We got 3 minutes.
Remember,
moon.
Remember, you are the what? You are the masters of the administration. See, as the administration go forward, you are the what? Masters, the consuls of the administration that move the ship. Make sense to you?
Make perfect sense. Yeah.
All right.
Imperial vision.
Awesome. All righty. 3 minutes, y'all. 2 minutes. 2 minutes, y'all.
At 69 degrees Fahrenheit.
We're already in 100%. We've been at 100% for a little while now.
Really?
But the actual time where, remember we spoke about how the full moon, everything is fluid. So the actual time the full moon comes in contact, it's only just a minute, right? And then it just continues to move on. So, and we are in that energy. So we're going to continue on with how the brain reacts. And we have 4 notations of different organs within the body or glands within the body that are activated or stimulated by that. So next up is the pituitary gland, often referred to as the quote master gland. The pituitary gland secretes hormones that control the activity of other endocrine glands. Going to the top, the thalamus gland. While not a gland like others, the thalamus is a critical part of the brain's anatomy. It acts as a relay center for sensory information, directing signals to different parts of the brain for processing. It also plays a role in regulating consciousness, sleep, and alertness. The pineal gland secretes melatonin, a hormone that regulates sleep-wake cycles, circadian rhythms, and has other roles in the body, including the regulation of reproductive hormones. So as we know, all these things is a part of the system that keeps us moving. So the point is, of course, everything is all together. Everything is all twined in school. We've had to learn that all the systems, we got the digestive system, we got the respiratory system, we got the cardiovascular system, we got the reproductive system, we got all these different systems, but we know that they all work in conjunction with one another, so it's another part of the divide and conquer theory that they've used in so many different ways. So as we continue to, don't be afraid to, you don't have to compartmentalize everything. Don't be afraid to marry in things, to do a dance, have your own personal dance of how you're living. All right, so we're We're here, y'all. We at the Namashi Compass. First day, Cayenne, Phoenix. So the Namashi Compass serves as a revitalized ancient sacred circle that shifts awareness to the celestial and terrestrial alignments of the elements: air, earth, water, and fire. Remember, everything is vibrating. Picture an ocean of frequencies. Now picture your thoughts, emotions, and actions as the ripples in this ocean of frequencies. Your attention and intention are frequencies that yield daily. You decide unintentionally and or intentionally your frequency. Every 28 days, Mother Earth grants the sustenance for high frequency living, while Five the Sky displays a different pattern constellation, showcasing the current frequency / vibration of the cosmos. Each moon, so we call our months moons, month, carries a she vibration / frequency. The Namashi compass estimates the terrestrial and celestial frequencies that rotate every approximately 28 days and offer practices to honor space, energy, self, and earth. On 8 April 2024, the moon began to hide and shine in a series of 8 phases for 13 consecutive months. The first new moon after the spring equinox, the Earth spirals around the sun for approximately 364 days, revisiting 13 constellations. Any questions?
I have one question from YouTube from Era. The question is, can you speak on the 12 plus 1 occult glands in the head and their connections to the 12 plus 1 constellations? Plus, if there is some way of using them to heal oneself.
Well, yeah, that's getting. I didn't want to go that deep, Kara, but but each, just to speak a little bit of it, the endocrine glands and every organ in your body actually has a corresponding planet that relates to it. Even they're even your fingertips, they're even hand mudras. And so when you understand the energy, like how to position your hands or understanding where those energy seats are, you're able to tap into certain planets' energy just by tapping into certain organs. But every organ in the body literally connects to a different planet. Planets connects to the constellations and planets connects to the herbs. All of these things help us sustain our body. Now, spiritually, the energy of the spirit is dictated by the electromagnetic energy that you have within your body. What are you exercising? What fires are you exercising? So we do not have a chart that displays that, but we do, but each one, and you can do your research, try Chat GPT, that can give you a great table on how the glands, well, I don't know if they give you that table, but there are tables out there where you can actually see how every organ has a corresponding planet associated with it, along with a corresponding constellation. Even in our hands, in our face, everything has nerve endings. So the nerve endings is what is actually being signaled as the correspondence. So I'm gonna give you an example, just like in reflexology, if you had a pain in your lower back, right? Instead of actually massaging the lower back, acupressure, they would actually push a certain point in your hand and rub that, and the energy will be relieved, right? So there is a lot of correlation because like we are realizing as Nama that everything is connected. That's why it's so important that we get in tune with being earth keepers because we're connected to the earth. So, and it is our responsibilities. We've taken on that title, is taking care of her. So in order to take care of her, we got to take care of ourselves first. But in taking care of ourselves, we're actually in essence taking care of her as well, right? I hope that answered your question.
Yes, indeed.
All right.
And if I can go a little deeper,
Go right ahead.
it's just the 12 occult nerves are the occult nerves that's around your cortex, your cerebral cortex. These occult nerves are attached to different glands. They have a signal that they send, with your hypothalamus, your thalamus. That is like to us is IIMYRS. It's our relay center. And it relays those energies to the different parts of your other glands, in other parts of your body, thereby cause a process which you have the ability to channel that energy inside. Then it goes up. That's why it says come down. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and going up 1, 2, 3, 4. These are levels. So this is a way you wrestle yourself. You can wrestle yourself out of the body by doing proper, what we call ganooning, or chanting. And there's these ways, these certain positions and practices and affirmation gives you the opportunity to release yourself from the magnetism. That right there is the prison, right there, the magnetism that attach you. Once you latch to it, you're not able to separate from it. Now that was the great learning that has to be done. And that's only can be done by proper tuning with the 12 occult nerves, your glands, different parts of your organ, your tonsils. That's why they took the tonsils out. They had a massive campaign. They took the tonsils out. They took the Adam's apple out. When the Adam's apple protruded and they saw it, it's it's going to do something bad. So we need to take it out. So one couldn't properly tune himself. So that's a part of the sciences going into the IIMHotep University. It's going to teach us proper tuning so that you are able to wrestle yourself out of the body. It's not a prison no more. All right. Are you?
Awesome. Thank you for that. Yes, that definitely put the cherry on top. All right. Any other questions? We are in our full moon, y'all. Woohoo! Give thanks. So, this is our Namashi compass, loosely called our calendar. So, and as you can see, the arrows show that the first day of every month begins with a new moon, right? So day 1, and you can follow this just by looking up at the sky. You can look up at the sky and see the moon. That's for everyone, wherever you are. The moon always goes through these cycles. So day 1 of the cycle, a new moon starts the month, a cycle for new beginning, planting seeds of intention and setting goals. Okay. Day 3, and I have that wavy sign because everything is fluid, right? So it's not, it might not be exactly 3 days or exactly 11 days. So that's why that's there. All right. Day 3, waxing crescent moon, yields a period of building momentum, initiating plans, and taking action. All right. And that's what it looks like. And as you can see, each one of these are actually the same pictures that are on here for each month. It continues with the same 8 cycles. So day 7, the first quarter moon marks the point of possible challenges, overcoming obstacles, or adjusting to plans. And that's always right we're in the middle. This is where we are, right? Smack dab in the middle. You know, that's the middle of the month when the full moon, well, it's 7 days, 7 days after I'm sorry, I mixed myself up. That's the full moon that's smack dab in the middle. The 7 days after the new moon, you have the first quarter moon, which marks a point of possible challenges. So if you think about it, you plant your seeds. Oh, I got a new goal. And then you say, okay, on the 3rd day, after you kind of set your goals and what's going to happen, now you on the 3rd day, 3rd, 4th day, you are building momentum. You checking information, you calling people, initiating projects, you're taking actions on what your intentions are, the seeds you planted. So on the 7th day of this, now you got possible challenges or overcoming obstacles of adjusting plans. And so we're always coming up with obstacles, and that's okay. Why? Because it allows you to refine what you're doing. So if everything is all perfect, it can't be perfect, because you have to always polish it to make it better. All right. So when those obstacles come, make sure I'm saying this to ensure that you understand that obstacles is nothing for you to have, you always want to maintain your energy. So a lot of times when obstacles or possible challenges come, we might change our energy that might not be beneficial to our whole situation. So just keep those in mind on the day 7. So day 11, approximately day 11, the waxing gibbous moon knows the time for refining goals, trusting intuition, and adapting. So once on the 11th day, you give it some time, you see all this stuff that's happening. Now, okay, let me see how I can refine things. I see what messed up. Now I can trust my intuition. And so that's probably the most important thing, is understanding how to trust your intuition and accepting that. Are any questions before we moved on? All right. So day approximately 14, the full moon brings the harvest, a peak in energy, accumulation of efforts, and a time for celebration. It can also be associated with heightened emotions, reminding to release what no longer serves. So here we are. We just came in it, yay, 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 into day 14 of the Cayenne. We're fully in it, y'all, in the full moon. So here is what the full moon looks like. And you can see smack dab in the middle, 14 days, 28 days, right? It's simple math. The 14th day is smack dab in the middle, which gives you the full moon at each time. So again, this calendar is in synchronicity with the moon. So it is a little off. If you can see, you can actually tell how your birthday falls, or your birthday falls, because you look at where the full moon or the new moon is in relation to your birthday, and then come back to here, right? To determine. So I don't know when the full moon is in June. I was going to give you my birthday. So if anybody, didn't somebody just have a birthday recently? Did somebody say happy birthday to somebody? No, nobody birthday?
Can't recall.
Okay, I'm gonna give you, so my mom, her birthday was April 10th, right? So right here, we know April 8th was the new moon. So 2 days after that is April 10th. So you would determine your birthday based off the new or the full moon within that particular month. Does that make sense?
Say that one more time.
Okay, I'm gonna give you an example. When you want to see where your birthday is, right? Or your Earth day is within the month, this is how you determine it. You determine it based off the full moon or the new moon within that month. So I gave you an example. My mother's birthday was April 10th, right? Which is 2 days after the full moon. So her birthday, April 10th, would be here, would be 2 days after here. So you would see your sign or your time, because it's not, because it was taken from, you have to think about it. It was translated from 12 month, and then 1 day was missing. So again, the Gregorian calendar, it doesn't fit exactly this cycle or this sequence, but it is in perfect alignment with the moon, right? So some of the dates, if I say April 8th, it'd be like, well, this is April 8th, and on here it says May 20th to 16 April. Again, you have to look at when the full moon or the new moon, to determine where your birthday lies. Does that make sense?
It's closer.
Yeah.
I'm getting it.
So whenever your birthday is, go to that month and look and see where your birthday is in relation to the full moon. If it's closer to the full moon, then you calculate it there.
On
If
the
it's
full
closer to the
moon.
new moon, then you count, and then that way you can see where
Where
your
you fall
energy
on the
pretty
chart.
lies. Right.
Yeah, I got you. All right.
Okay.
Gratitude. Got
Does
it.
that make sense? That makes sense, right?
Yes,
'Cause
yes,
it's too
yes.
confusing to try to sink
Mm-hmm,
it in with
mm-hmm,
the
mm-hmm.
Gregorian. So I said, no, sink it in with the new moon or the full moon.
The new moon, the sighting of noon. Yeah. Okay, cool. Got you.
Okay. Are you ready, licorice? Okay. So day approximately 17, the waning gibbous moon ushers a period of reflection, letting go of negativity, and a cycle for tying up loose ends. Okay. So day 21, the last quarter moon, is the moon phase that aids in introspecting, releasing what no longer serves to prepare for the upcoming cycle. So on day 14, that's where emotions are heightened. You're seeing stuff, you don't necessarily release. You just giving signs on what you need to release when that day 21 come up, right? So the thing is, when this is the rhythm of the moon. That rhythm plays a part in everything that you're doing. So on day approximately 21, the waning crescent moon honors space for rest, relaxation, and inner work. After the 28th day, the next moon frequency of ebbs and flows begins again. All right, any questions?
No hands in the chat. No hands in the queue. No hands. Question in the chat.
Wrong. All right. Okay, so first up, our first month is Cayenne. So this is how it looks. So embrace each month's tips to the best of your ability while eyeing the dance of the moon and the constellations in the shadow sky. Align your soul, intuition, body, self, and projects, mind, your mental, and spirit, emotion, for purification, harmony, wellness, and elevation. Tune in to your feel. How you feel dictates if the ebbs and flows elevates you or lessens you. Please note all our suggested practices. Explore different practices that resonate with you. A guide. Each set of notches represent 1 week. So when you see this, like this is 1 week. There's 7 notches, right? In 1 week. That white shouldn't have been there. That's just a typo. It's all black in the compass. You see that on the side? It's all black. So the red is the beginning of the week. So you have 4 notches in each week. All right. So each set of notches represent 1 week. 7 notches equal 1 week. 1 notch equals the number of hours of sunlight and the number of hours of shadow time. And the wave sign equals approximately. And Nama, in case you didn't know, we're going to remind you, means, it's an acronym that means Nubarians, Al-Moroccans, Moorish Yamashi American natives, Amor Washita Moorsti Dugdamanya. Any questions? All right. So each month you get a different energy. So this month is Cayenne, and we are smack dab in the middle. You see that full moon? We're smack dab in the middle of the Cayenne she compass. So let's read about Cayenne. So Cayenne, the fire constellation, is here to spice up your life. The moon of Cayenne embraces the Phoenix totem by granting a powerful cosmic concoction, a recipe for vitality, courage, and action. Be authentic, own your confidence, shine bright. Fire allows the body to remain at approximately 98.6 degrees. Become receptive to the solar energies and establish a perfect unity between the self and the ray, sun, and distribute its power throughout the body. Dancing under the constellation of Aries, this moon encourages you to embrace every moment with the vigor of the phoenix in flight. Embrace the energy of the Cayenne to stimulate circulation of blood and to ironically also stop bleeding almost immediately by applying Cayenne at the site of leakage in most cases. Cayenne can be added to your seasoning mix. You can replace it with black pepper. If your feet are hot, if you are having numbness of the feet even, or if your feet are cold, you can actually put Cayenne in your shoes. I would put Cayenne, wrap it around with saran paper, and then put a sock on. If you have any type of diabetes, your feet will become tingly. They'll start tingling. If you don't have any diabetes or anything, any issues, you're going to get like extremely hot. You'll get extremely, extremely hot. So it's a natural stimulant. If you had a possible cut, right? Your fingers is bleeding, bleeding, bleeding. I've done this a few times. Get some Cayenne. Now, let me just say, all Cayenne is not created equally. If you're not using Cayenne that is measured in BTUs, then you ain't really got no Cayenne. Let me just say. So, don't go in the regular Kroger's and Jewel's thinking you about to come up on some Cayenne. No, you have to go to a herb store. You have to order from stores that measure the Cayenne in heat for you to get the properties I'm speaking of. And of course, always ask your physician for anything that you do as far as changes in your diet. All right. Any questions or comments about that? All right. So one of the other parts that's also on the calendar on our compass that we take note of is this little symbol right here. And this is metals. So one of the things that we wanted to learn about or to get more in tune with, because we have precious metals in our vaults, is metals, right? So each month also has a particular metal that we kind of research and see what's the best part of it for us. So this one is zinc for this month. So it goes with your immune support. Zinc helps boost the immune system by supporting the function of white blood cells, which are crucial for fighting off infections and illnesses. Wound healing. Zinc is involved in the process of wound healing and tissue repair, promoting faster recovery from injuries, cell growth, and repair. It plays a key role in cell division, growth, and repair, contributing to overall growth and development. Antioxidant properties. Zinc act as an antioxidant, helping to protect cells from damage caused by free radicals, which may reduce the risk of chronic diseases. Hormone regulation. Zinc is involved in the regulation of hormones, including insulin, which helps in maintaining stable blood sugar levels. Support senses. Zinc is important for maintaining healthy vision, taste, and smell senses. Brain function. Zinc is necessary for proper brain function and has linked to improve cognitive function and mood regulation. So you're not given a lot of information about the metal. However, this compass is a guide for you to do your own research to see how you need to incorporate things into your life. These are just, again, for information purposes only, and you have to do more research to see how it actually needs to fit in your life. Now, another note, if you see this little cute thing under one and all these little dots, this is actually what Aries looks like up in the sky. So as we continue to move around, this compass encourages you to start understand star mapping, so you can get in tune with what the sky look like, and you can see for yourself what's out there, and if you continue to study astrology and understand the energies that come in and out at different times, you can look up and you would understand the energies for yourself. All right, any comments or questions before we move on?
Yes, very important point. That's a must.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, in the Nama, we have sovereign observances within our calendars. All right. So sovereign observances are designated as non-governmental rotations, and government houses are sometimes closed, whereas discussions and activities relative to matters of concern for the Imperial CMYE-IRKR Republic resume the day after the honored rotation. Note, the IROHEM delegates nominationals to assist any and all internal and external matters of concern during sovereign observances if required. Meaning everybody can't be off of work because we have a state and it runs 24/7, right? So even though we have sovereign observances, we do have some positions that are 24 hours that, we have to accommodate our nationals. All right. It is not mandatory for nominationals to attend. However, NAMA are encouraged to share within the engagement of and for nominational culture. These sovereign observances occur during specific rotations. During specific rotations and cycles of the sun and moon. So the full moon live calls, you already know, they can be 1 to 3 days. All right. Next up, solstices, cultural and virtual excursions. Sometimes we have virtual excursions, and many times they're 3-day event rotation. And of course, these dates and events are subject to change. Next up, the equinoxes, cultural and virtual excursions. Next up is Hawa Day, ancestral excursion honoring mothers. This happens in the third Sunday in Licorice. Ancestral Remembrance Day, last Monday in May. Ancestral excursion. Zakar Day, ancestral excursion honoring fathers, is the third Sunday in Fennel, also known as June. CMYE Day, ECMYE-IRK Day, 18 July 2007. The ECMYE-IRKR timeline excursion. So we've incorporated those timelines within our full moon as well, but we have a more extensive timeline on that particular day celebrating our empire. Crown Day, it's always a 3-day rotation event for quote Adelo Yi, end quote, for the 30th, the 31st, and the 1st. We celebrate our emperor's earthly return to us, and his birthday is his earth turn. He came into the earth during that rotation, so it's a 3-day event. We call it Crown Day. It's also a day that he received the live crown. All right. Then Deity Day, 3 rotation event, the 30th, the 31st, and the 1st of October and November. Again, this is a Deity Day, Samhu, Ray Day. All the deities come from Samhu. Well, no one was, Samhu was. So our Hispanic brothers and sisters, they call it the Day of the Dead. It's a day to honor all the ancestors. So we call it Deity Day. And another reason, the main reason why we have these quote unquote sovereign observances or quote unquote holy days is because we want to capitalize off the energy. You know, there's energies that actually happen during these times. So anything that's already orchestrated for these days is because there's energy. So we want to make sure the energy is something that we are in tune with and not something that is actually cursing us further. All right, so harvesting. This is a 6-day rotation in November.
You say cursing?
What's that?
You said no more curses and be on us? I don't understand that.
No, I was saying that most of the holidays that they have, we've just replaced it with our own energy to remove the curses that we continue to put on us just by celebrating their energy.
Oh, okay, I got you. All right, I appreciate it.
So harvesting, that's huge. You know, it's like a gathering up of all what we've done throughout the year. So the harvest portion is a 6-day rotation for us to really get into what we need to prepare for the months of the harvest. All right. Feast of Gratitude. It's a 2-day rotation where we start preparing for the Serpetorius or Fucus or Sage season, where it's a magical time of the year where we take advantage of that in a lot of different ways. And last but not least, we have Children's Day. I forgot. We have some things we missed on here, but Children's Day is the last of the year's a 2-day rotation where we honor the children, those that are of 13 years of younger, and also honoring the children within each of us. So that is our compass.
Question. Will we have a Flag Day?
Oh, indeed. Indeed. So those are just some of the sovereign observances that we have. As we continue to develop, we do what's necessary for our balance of our mental and our bodies. So understanding the importance of the flag, we will most definitely have a flag. All right. So how do you order the Namashi compass? scan the barcode that you see right there, my friends, my Nama, my Earth Keepers, my Earth people. It can be yours. We have a special rate until the end of this month for $19.99 plus shipping and handling. You can scan that and order it. All right. So this again, you not only get the Nama Compass, you also get each month with the constellations as well as a summary for each month. It's priceless. It's priceless. So, are there any other questions or comments? Everybody's scanning. I know everybody's scanning, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's a long time coming. This is needed. Oh yeah. Great job. Good job. Good job.
Good job. Yeah, it's a good job, Imperial Minister.
Good job.
Being recultured, reacclimated to our culture is very important.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we got to get off they whatever they on. We got to get on what we're on. So
Yeah.
this was a combination of so many different decades, when you're doing projects, you never know what you're doing, where that training is gonna land, right?
Right. Right.
Never know how it all comes together. So as we started with the fable, be okay with the unexpected, because you never know what gems and jewels will come in light of that.
That's right. That's right. It's a principle. That's a principle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All righty. So again, make sure everybody got that. Scan the Namashi calendar. And of course, this video will be available for all to play back on our YouTube channel. Okay. And gratitude for your attention. We leave you as we greet you. Salam alaikum with magic. Enjoy the full pink/Cayenne moon all, and thank you again.
Salam
All right, cool.
alaikum, magic.
Alaikum with magic.
Salam alaikum with
Good
magic.
job.
Assalamu alaikum with magic.
Gratitude.
Y'all have a good time.
Great show.
Salam alaikum with magic.
Salam alaikum with magic.
All right, cool.
Salam alaikum,
Good
magic.
call, come on. Y'all get something on this call?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Of course, we did.
Enlightening.
Very good.
It is.
All right, cool.
Yes, you did. Got a lot.
All right, cool. We got that full moon energy in, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to go enjoy
Going
now.
out and get it.
I'm out here getting it in right now.
Yeah, I'm talking about.
Yeah, Coop right here. Right here.
And remember, y'all, 3 days. Y'all got 3 days to enjoy that energy.
Go ahead, Akuf.
Oh yeah, Akuf gonna get that. You know.
That
Boy,
deer is out there.
That's our guy. That's that travel guy right there.
That deer is out there.
That's our travel guy right there. Ooh.
Well, everybody enjoy the full moon energy. Stay lifted.
Yes.
Make sure you get your
Enjoy
Nama
it.
compass so you can stay in tune with Nama. Again, thank everyone for your attention. This has been a full moon live call from the Imperial CMYE-IRK Republic from the Imperial I Am Hopetip University. We thank all of you. Okay. Again, this has been a Imperial I Am Hopetip University full moon live presentation for 23 April 2024, the 14th day of Cayenne. We ask Gratitude, much gratitude for your attendance, and we will see you on the next full moon. And again, we leave you as we get you. Salam alaikum with magic.